Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Michael Huber.
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Brandon Jones.
Hello.
And making this all happen, Ian Hink. Now, we have 3 episodes of corrections backed up.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Sweet.
I talked to Liz. She's going to wipe them clean.
Oh, okay.
Starting off the new year, no corrections.
Feels good.
I do want to say this, though. Appointment viewing.
Nice.
That's what that was.
I have some notes, actually,
What?
that I would like to address.
I love appointment viewing.
I cut the last episode, which featured Kyle Bossman and his parents.
Sure, yeah.
And there are some things that don't necessarily have to be addressed now. I just want to make sure that they're out there, that we realize that these things happened.
Okay, wow.
Kyle apparently was in plays and musicals while in high school.
Yeah.
I would like to discuss that more at a later date.
Yeah, later date, for sure.
Kyle was prom king, which I think I knew.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't think that gets discussed enough.
Whoa.
You and your dad clearly need to settle this Jet Moto rivalry. Like, we need to.
Oh, that'd be fun,
We need
yeah.
to make that a stream. I don't know if that's like next Christmas. You go home and take it with you and set that up.
I don't
or-
want to beat him. I don't want to beat him.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay,
I
all
really,
right.
really want.
Sure.
Yo, I don't know if a prom king can be the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Straight up.
That's a good point.
There's
Yeah.
no
Honestly.
way.
I've changed.
I'm curious how good you still are at Guitar Hero. If we have some kind of a fundraiser thing,
I won't
like,
win.
if
Yeah,
we-
you'll beat me at that.
I really want
yes.
to set that up.
Yeah.
This is behind the scenes. I got to ask you what Ed Boon project you were production assistant on. That's fascinating.
Oh yeah, that's behind the scenes. We'll have to have that.
Your dad calls me Jonesy, which is everything to me.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
And there exists a videotape of young Kyle playing DDR. We need to find that.
No, we're talking about hypothetical tape.
Okay. Sounded pretty real
Yeah. Well,
from that episode.
it's complicated. The tape, if there was a tape of me playing DDR, has probably burned.
Okay.
Which sounds awful and is the truth. So I do not believe there's any video evidence of me playing DDR.
Okay.
Did something burn? What happened?
Yeah, my cousin's house burned, and we lost a bunch of like tapes that we made.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Craziness.
yeah,
Is this real?
that's real. Yeah, because we made this. We used to make movies all the time that would have plots and stories and like
course.
lots of good things. We did make one that started off with DDR and like Santa busting in. But we didn't finish that one because it's like sometimes you're just making a thing and it's like, hey, is this good? And everyone's like, no, we should stop this. And that was that kind of movie.
That's a bit.
That is not a bit.
That's real.
You had
That
your
is real.
smiling voice on when you talked about your cousin's
Yeah, I've been
house
looking at your
burning
eyes.
down.
You can tell it's a bit even if you're listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle's smiling voice when his cousin's house burned down. I was like, what?
That is a real thing that happened.
That I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't believe about this DDR movie.
He already had his smiling voice
I
on.
think he was weaving in fact and fiction.
There was
Yeah.
no fiction in that whole thing.
I believe you, Kyle.
Me too. Me too.
Time to play
always.
tough bouncers.
Okay.
So Easy Allies runs the most popular club in LA that is exclusive to video game characters. Everybody knows that. It's so popular, in fact, that we often have to turn down even very popular video game characters because the place is just too packed. Each week, we'll consider 2 nominations from our patrons and decide one who is allowed in.
Okay.
I love this.
This
So-
is very funny.
Stinkin' Mushroom proposes Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. Reason? He's the best looking guy here. East Dragon proposes Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding because it's raining outside.
Has he showered? That's the first question. Has Sam Porter Bridges showered?
He has
Is
not
he-
showered.
No,
He's
no,
not showered
then he's
yet.
no way he's getting in, man.
I think Sam Porter Bridges at most would just stop by anyway. So why not let him in to stop by, rest his feet, because he'll
And you're
leave
going
when
to tell
more people
Squall
come.
to go home?
Squall can dance.
Yeah.
Squall has
dance.
no problem getting in anywhere else.
Where are
Sam
the
Porter
bouncers,
Bridges
though?
needs a rest.
This isn't...
They go to a hostel or something,
right,
man.
yeah.
Come
This
on,
isn't
we
just a
don't-
charity, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's giving us packages too.
This is
I mean, he's
Studio
our delivery
54.
guy. You don't want to mess with the porter.
The delivery guy doesn't get to go into any club he's delivering to.
Well, just through the back.
Yeah, just to the
To
back.
the back. Maybe that's
neither-
it. That's the solution. He goes into the back.
Yeah. Neither of these guys are social butterflies. You know, they're not sterling conversationalists. Do we have to let either in?
Yes.
Oh no, another one just showed up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Jacob Culhane suggests Lanky Kong from Donkey Kong 64
No, he's not getting
because This Kong has no style, no grace, and has a funny face, but he hasn't been dating for over 20 years, and he's ready to meet new people.
I vote Lanky Kong.
Sob story.
He's the
You
least
say
risky
Lanky-
choice.
you haven't said anything definitively.
Yeah, Lanky Kong is just gonna make a mess of the place. I don't know what you think is gonna happen.
You want a mess? This is our club, blood. This
Yo,
is a
you
hot
don't
club.
want to. You don't want to. No. He's just like stinky. He's gonna be throwing bananas and stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
I am torn though.
He's gonna get back behind the bar where they've got the juicer and he's gonna just wreck it.
His motivation is the most pure, though. You know, he's
Well,
there for a reason.
Sam Porter Bridges just doesn't want to like the aging rain to hit him, which kind of makes sense.
I'm torn. I'm torn between those two.
Does Sam Porter, does he have BB with him?
I just checked. He does have BB.
Then we should let him
Yeah,
in.
we gotta let
'cause
Sam Porter
everyone's
in.
going to love tapping on that glass.
They're gonna want photos.
They're going to want photos. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're really letting BB in.
Oh, yeah. So
Right.
I think we
Sam
have to.
Porter's just a means of conveyance.
Does
for
that mean
BB.
Lanky Kong
We have. That's
is
what-
just like doomed to be lonely now?
for tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this also mean that Cloud and Lanky Kong are going to get hyper aged by the rain?
Yes, it does. Those are the rules.
Do you think Lanky and Squall will hang out?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
In my heart of hearts, like it's fun to imagine them hanging out, but no, they're not going to.
Okay.
Squall's getting right back in the airship
Yeah.
He's out of there.
later.
Squall, it's raining. So we have some news to kick off. We're going to do Pop-Tarts and Toaster Strudels of the first 3 months of 2020, obviously. But we have some news we should address. I'm talking about Pokemon news. And what's funny is, I mean, I think there are games I like to discuss that I don't really care about, right? And so I try to think of people who don't care about Pokemon, and I wonder, is this interesting to them?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're going to talk about
Yeah.
all of it. Okay. Thanks, Huber. So first off, we do have a new game announcement, which is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is a remake.
Yeah, total remake.
Total remake.
They showed those old sprites and like, oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
2006, a game that was on Game Boy Advance and DS. There's 2 versions of it. And this was the first ever Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game.
Dude, what's your familiarity with Mystery Dungeon?
0. So here's what I know about those games is you are all Pokemon. You are a human and who turn into a Pokemon, but there are no other humans in this world.
Whoa.
You are just hanging out with Pokemon, doing Pokemon things.
Do they like talk to each other normally?
Oh, yeah. They have dialogue.
That doesn't seem right.
It's its own thing. It's definitely
Okay.
its own thing. And roguelike in that I think the dungeons are randomly generated. If they're not, it is this weird sort of like turn-based thing.
Yeah. Steps. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's grid-based. A very old school vision of dungeon crawling.
Nice.
And that game is being remade, and it's still that.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is most remarkable about it is its visual style. While it uses the exact same character models that you would see in Sword and Shield, which is its own thing, I guess, it's got this watercolor style that's kind of nice. It's, I would say, Blood, correct me if I'm wrong here, Winnie the Pooh-ish.
I think you're about on the nail on that. Yeah.
Nice.
Huber, you know in Kingdom Hearts you go to Winnie the Pooh, you go to
Yeah.
100 Acre
Yep.
Wood? Just
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
hanging out in there with a bunch of Pokemon.
That sounds very soothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm about that.
Yeah. I do think it's weird. It's something I think Pokemon's been wishing to have this entire time is universal 3D models. It kind of makes the game a little less special. Like Pikachu looks exactly as it does in every other game, you know, and so does Bulbasaur, so does all the other ones. It's kind of weird that you just kind of drag them into each game and it looks the exact same. Whereas in 2006, they had their own sprites at least.
Right. But I mean, I feel like we get that a lot of the times with the Mario spinoffs. Like they kind of like Mario will always kind of look the same.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about Mario Tennis Aces. It's like, oh, cool, they got tennis outfits now. You know, I
Right.
like it. I like it when they're different for the game that they're belonging into. What a weird nitpick, though. Anyway, that is what that game is.
Cool.
I don't know if it has a huge potential today as a
Isn't
Pokemon
that like
game.
the test, you know? It's just like Pokemon's, you know, I mean, has always been humongous, but it's just having such a great run the last couple of years. maybe this will find an audience like on Switch.
Yeah, it has been a while, right? Since we've had its own. There's been no Switch offshoots, especially if you don't count Let's Go. So yeah, I do wonder that, Jones.
Wonder how the mobile game did. Pokemon Journey Quest. Pokemon Quest.
That game is on Switch.
Yeah, that game is
Yeah.
on Switch. Yeah.
That free-to-play one.
Wonder how that did.
Me too.
Or just, I mean, I wonder what the interaction was there.
Jones, you played that more than anyone I know in my life.
I played that on mobile.
Yeah.
I like waited for that on mobile. And I just hit a wall. I hit the point in the game where it's like, oh, I need to grind this past the point even I wasn't interested
Yeah,
anymore.
that's all, dude. That's all. That's how they work.
Yeah.
So the other Pokemon news that's pretty interesting is that Pokemon Sword and Shield will not be getting a new version this year. They will be receiving an expansion pass. And let me just, it's funny, I'm going in the opposite order of how they present it. It's $30. You know, they saved
Right
it
up
for
front.
last. Yeah, it's just like, and by the way, it'll be $30. It's $30. It's a $30 expansion pass, and it's 2 parts. One will be in June of this year, and the other will be a fall of 2020.
Okay.
The 2 parts are named the Isle of Armor, which is the first one, and Crown Tundra, which is the second one. What to expect from these? It seems like, what's actually kind of cool is each of those 2 areas, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, is a fully explorable, rotate your right camera with a right analog stick, 3D worlds, just like the wild area of Sword and Shield. And so the environments that they showed, these gyms and these buildings will all be connected to this larger wild area. So kind of neat. 2 new wild areas being added to the game. New characters, new quests for you to go on in the Isle of Armor. The theme is growth, and so you're on this. You go to this dojo, and you're on this training quest.
Cool.
Yeah, you pick up this legendary Pokemon named Bear Fu. That can't be right.
Kung Fu Bear?
Yeah,
Sounds
Kung
fine
Fu
to
Bear
me.
though. Yeah.
Oh my god, they might have just got me.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I think it's like Ursfu or Fu or whatever.
Ursafu?
Ursafu, that might be it actually. And so like this legendary Pokemon who didn't exist before, like you're training up with this Pokemon, and I guess at the end of the quest it may evolve into one of 2 forms of this giant cool Kung Fu Bear.
Dude.
Yeah, so
Kind of a little off of the theming, right?
of what?
Like the whole Galar region, Britannia kind of thing.
Sure. Yes.
Sounds like a Miss Pandaria situation.
Yeah, exactly,
Like
right.
discovering this new area.
Yeah, I don't think either of these have anything much to do with England, because Crown Tundra is like extreme cold. You can get some like cool jackets for your character that's like super bundled up, coats I should say, and you have like mountain climbing gear basically, and that one has its own legendary Pokemon, and so I mean honestly this was kind of to be expected. An interesting thing about the Pokemon series is that there has always been a hidden legendary, even since Mew, right, that you can't obtain straight up from just playing the game on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Sword and Shield had no secret legendary Pokemon in it. Every single Pokemon you see in the game you can catch, and that's it. And so it's kind of, we all kind of assumed, DLC will come. This is more than I thought it would be. This is a pretty legitimate expansion, I think. $30 doesn't seem too much.
Do you think it's
to
more
me.
than you thought of it compared to like an Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon? Or is it still kind of more on that level?
I think it's more extra than you get in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. We should say that 200 old Pokemon are being added to this. There's obviously a lot of
okay.
controversy about Pokemon who were cut. 200 are coming back who were previously cut. New Galar forms. Slowpoke's got a Galar form that evolves into one of 2 ways, depending on which DLC expansion you decide to evolve in it with. Lots of Gigantamax forms.
Sure.
Blastoise looks cool. He's got like a fortress on his back when he
Nice.
Gigantamaxes. But I just hate it. I hate those so much.
Because it's just a hologram, right? It's not an actual Blastoise that has a
Right.
fortress on its back.
Yes.
Like it doesn't really exist within that world.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not into it at all.
Exactly.
Can't handle it.
Oh.
Get him out of my face.
And
Everything else sounds amazing though. These
yeah.
are the kind of DLC expansions that I love and crave for all the games that I love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a fan of this sounds perfect. Just more worlds, Pokemon, quests.
a
great.
temple,
Yeah.
temple with a couple of new Reggie things. Like
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
A new form of Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres? Ah, yes. Worth mentioning, like a co-op mode is going to be added in the Tundra, so
Hey.
you and a friend can explore some dungeons together.
Nice.
Inside of those dungeons, legendary Pokemon, who also cut previously.
Will you explore with me, Kyle?
I'll explore with you. Yay! Yeah. I'll just be disappointed if it's like a extra mode where you don't getting experience points.
Sure.
Oh,
You know, like
yeah.
Separate, self-contained thing.
yeah. But yeah, so right. To me, I just feel like I read off a Nintendo commercial. You know, when I talk about like podcast coverage, I don't know if all of that was interesting to someone who hates Pokemon. That all seemed particular to me. And so, Huber, do you think that this is an interesting blip? Do you think that somebody who didn't even play through Sword and Shield might be interested in how they're proposing this?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm always curious about like post-launch plans for games. I think it's really interesting. And especially this one, just because there's so much noise around it. I don't go looking for Pokemon, but it seems to always pop up, with this whole Pokedex situation. But this seems like they're listening and they're trying to address those concerns. So that's always like a good thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, that is it. So Pokemon Sword and Shield was a $60 video game.
Yeah.
Where Pokemon fans have been used to paying $40. You know, been playing DS, 3DS, like it's been like a cheaper game. It's like this was the first time it's a full game.
console tax.
Yes. And so instead of the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, another $40 game that you have to play through the opening 8 badges all over again to get to the Rainbow Rocket stuff, you just get this DLC on the game that you've already paid for. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think to me that's probably the more interesting thing about it is that like you don't have to start from scratch all over again. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously you could carry some of your Pokemon over right in the old ones, but yeah, just being able to just pick up, and play the new stuff without having to completely redo the whole story.
Yeah. Jones, watching all of this, seeing all that they were willing to show, they said, look, this is early in development, obviously, but it's still, it's coming in June, at least the first part. I don't know if playing through these will take more than 2 nights. They show like one gym leader, they show, just this is the extent of the
Like
areas.
crit pathing. Like you can
Yes.
probably run around, like you can hang out in that wild area for a really long time, depending on what your goals are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, how long do you think it should last? What's appropriate for these kinds of expansions?
For that price tag?
Yeah, for that price tag.
15 a piece then if there's 2 and it's $30, right?
You can't break it up. You have to buy the whole pass at
Okay.
once.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still
like,
$30.
like 4 hours, like 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I would think, yeah, at least.
That's kind of where I think it's going to be.
And the tough thing for me is like I have no idea with this year ahead of us. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing in June
Yeah.
and fall. No idea.
Yeah.
I might be playing Horizon Zero Dawn 2 in the fall of 2020.
Well, okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
Ambitious. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it comes out in the fall. This
The second half comes
The
out in the
second one
fall.
does,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, that seems long from
And
now.
especially just like I was so excited about the wild area, but like when I hit credits on that game, I was like, okay, it's time to move on
Yeah.
to
So
something else. I've been playing this game for a while.
that's the freaky thing about the wild area is that it's kind of Pokemon Swords and Shield's way of monster hunting the game, continuing to deliver
Right. Like post game, yeah.
post game. In that the way they said it is just like, hey, look who's showing up in the wild area this week. It's Gigantamax Coal Monster. And so the way that they can just continue the thing is like, hey, a new rare Pokemon is showing up in the wild area. Keep grinding, please. Keep doing that thing. And there's so many incentives for grinding the wild area too.
Oh, yeah.
The TMs that break after you use them, that's just created to like, hey, grind. Oh boy, I don't want to. You know what? I'm not gonna complain about Pokemon Sword and Shield. This is not that kind of podcast.
But if you love it, this is a great reason to come back to the world after putting
Heck
it down
yeah.
for a while.
Heck yeah.
Like Jones, you might be craving it in a few months, and then that DLC hits, and you're like, hey, here's a good excuse.
I might.
Yeah.
Curious.
Oh, personally, there's no way I'm not playing this DLC.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just like giving me a world to explore. Like, yeah, you know what? I hate you.
So you're in.
But I love you. Yep. Also worth mentioning before we get into Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels, the PlayStation 5 has a logo.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
It was revealed at CES earlier this week. But hey, I don't want to podcast it.
Do you know much about that font? Is that like specifically font made for PlayStation?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that they've already just gotten the whole font and There's not really any mystery to it.
Spider-Man used it, right?
No, that was
PS3.
a different
That was
font.
PS3,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was PS3, and then they fell back.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, that was stupid. It totally was. Yes, Blood. I think somewhere there is a folder that has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But the 10 has to be the X.
Ooh.
Oh no.
S.
No way are they doing an X.
Yes.
Because they've already done PSX in multiple forms.
You do Roman numeral.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had the
You don't
PSX.
think they're going to do it?
They had the PSX machine.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they had the PSX conference.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's a callback to all of that.
Doesn't matter. If
a
X,
culmination.
if we could have an
2050.
Xbox
I just
Series
don't-
X, like there's no rules anymore. Then
Once we get the spores implanted from PS9, like, we won't need consoles anymore. Yeah.
Does Johnny Mnemonic hold up?
Absolutely.
wow. Okay.
That is
I haven't seen that
excellent.
since the theater, dude.
I'm going to give
I mean,
it a
it's
rewatch.
bad, but it's amazing. Best movie ever.
It's time for the winter 2020 rundown. How this goes is we're going to look at all of the big releases over the course of the next 3 months. Each panelist has picked one Pop-Tart and one toaster strudel that is personal to them. They haven't revealed it to the rest of us. If you can't remember how it goes, is if a game grabs your heart, that's a Pop-Tart. If a game is probably brutal, that's a toaster strudel. So everybody's clear on that. We all get it. We all know how this works.
Wait, brutal in like a brutal.
No, not good brutal.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, bad brutal.
Bombshell brutal.
Bombshell brutal. And then, of course, there is also the rule, if you're just not interested in talking about a game, you can propose a shall we move on. And if one other person says we shall, we do move on.
What if the shall we move on is your toaster strudel?
Then I think we would move on.
Okay.
However, you cannot move on from a Pop-Tart.
Okay.
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 Deal. I don't know if that's ever happened before, Huber, but yeah, I don't want to see it happen. And also, generally, I always get a lot of comments. Ports and remasters, I try to exclude from the list.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of those.
You know, the Darksiders game is out.
Genesis?
Yeah, Darksiders Genesis
On
is out.
PC, but
Yeah.
the console one is.
Right, and I was looking at it like, oh, I've got to add that to the list. No, that game's out.
Yeah.
Reviews, generally positive. Huh. How about that? All right, January. Not a lot in January, but we got some interesting things, like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, developed by CyberConnect 2.
Oh.
That
nice.
is the RPG, where you play as Goku and level up as Goku and have stats as Goku.
So excited about this.
Okay.
I do want to say one thing, though, Kyle,
Oh,
is that the story, again, you know?
the same story.
The same story again. And it's like, we always do this with these Dragon Ball games. And it's like, especially earlier, a couple years ago, I rewatched the anime, and it's like just the same story over and over and over and over again. So I'm super excited about that game. But like going through the same beats again and again kind of has me a lot less excited than I want to be for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, the fun looks like the weird side quests.
Yes. Kicking fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, the Ginyu Force having more to do than just kind of, like, just losing a bunch of battles. Yeah, like, I think it might be cool. I think the side quest might be where that fun is that you
Nice.
search for.
Because what was the one, was it Xenoverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Where-
you change the time.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
That should be super lame, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Is that the one where Goku or whoever spoke to the camera and it made Kyle go crazy?
That's fighters. That's fighters. That's fighters.
But you create your own character and all that in Xenoverse, yeah.
Yeah. I guess would you rather just rehash the same classic story or?
You don't want to know. I would rather rehash. Dude.
Yeah.
I
Fair
want
enough.
that hash.
Fair enough.
January 23rd, The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. Now that is a PC VR game.
Yeah.
And when I say PC VR, I mean Oculus Quest. I don't really know how to rank it. I just call that a PC VR platform.
Sure.
Skydance Interactive is a studio.
Yeah.
That's the Walking Dead group, owned by Walking Dead. So it's just Walking Dead paying Walking Dead.
That's my toaster strudel.
Same.
I
Shall we
can't-
move on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was waiting. He had that prepped.
Yep.
we shall.
Like I watched that trailer recently to see what that game was.
Me too. Earlier today.
Moving on.
Okay. January 28th, Journey to the Savage Planet. That is coming. Ian?
Well, do we wait for you to talk or do we do our thing?
I think it's fun if you interrupt me. Yeah.
This is my toaster strudel.
That's what I picked too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't get. Oh, January's
Feels
gonna be
bad,
rough.
dude. It feels bad.
It feels bad.
January's a rough month, folks.
It feels bad to do this as a toaster strudel.
Wow. So when we were picking our Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels, we're all looking at a list. Ian says, I feel bad about my toaster strudel. And I thought, there's no way it's this game.
Yeah.
This game is an upbeat co-op adventure.
It's co-op now?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. But when I played it at E3, it was annoying.
So this is a game on PC, PS4, Xbox One. Typhoon Studios is making it, who has done no other games before this one. But
That's interesting.
this is a new thing. Alex Hutchinson's one of the co-founders of the studio,
Right.
and he's from Assassin's Creed 3 and Far Cry 4. Yeah, Ian, we got to talk about this in this context too. Just last month, this Typhoon Studios announced that they are joining Stadia as a Stadia Games and Entertainment team. So this is an official Stadia development studio now. They're like, we're gonna do Savage Planet first, and then we're gonna be a Stadia exclusive studio. So I watched the trailer. I was really into it. I got to know what you played at E3, Ian.
We played.
Me too.
You
yeah.
played it
Hubert-
also, right?
Hubert too?
Hubert?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was just kind of the first zone. You landed your ship or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
then you kind of just wandered around. And the quest marker was such that it was out there, and I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how to get to it. There was like a cliff, and I couldn't get over the cliff, and it was super annoying. And then Huber got somewhere somehow, and I was like, "How'd you get over there?" And he was like, "I'm not even sure."
Yeah. Stumbling my way.
I don't know. It feels bad. Like, I like space games. I like the colors in this, but it's just
Like lots of first-person
didn't grab
platforming, right?
me. Yeah.
Which is not always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not hyped on this game, but the E3 demo, while frustrating, still felt good to play. Like shooting the little creatures and they burst into little.
And it should be stated that
Yeah.
that was E3. That
Sure.
was a while ago.
Yeah.
Totally.
But Blood also picked this for your toaster strudel.
But mine has been kind of just on that kind of coordinator level of I'm trying to get people to check this thing out and nobody wants to bite. You know, it's just like that feeling the room. Like, does anyone want to do this? And they're like, no.
I mean, it's because we played it.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
It's funny too because I remember Brad played it at Judges Week, and I remember talking to Brad just before prepping videos before Judges Week, and he was like, "Yeah, I played this game. It was really colorful. I bounced around. It was fun. You know, Brad's being a nice guy." And then later, I'm like, "Oh, you played the Judges Week and you liked that?" He's like, "No, I didn't." I'm like, "You were, you had a smile on your face."
Yeah.
He was just like, "C3 man, we're just making videos." It was like,
Wow.
"Ouch."
What?
It's E3, man.
We're just making
What?
videos.
He's like,
What?
I was happy at the time, but I don't.
The views
just-
of Brad do not reflect the views.
Just
of
yeah. Doesn't mean I want to play it again. It's like okay.
Yeah, he probably had a good time at the session,
Yes.
but knows he wouldn't want to ever.
He
play
was
the game
he was
outside of
he
it.
was glass half full during E3,
Definitely.
and then that glass poured all the way out when E3 was over.
Worth stating, $30 game.
Okay,
Yeah, at least there's that.
That's
Maybe-
correct.
Maybe I'll
yeah.
review it because I'm like, there's nothing to review. But
It felt lean. There wasn't too many things to craft and whatnot, which I appreciated.
I like that. That's a cool price point, I think. Finally, January 28th, Kentucky Route Zero,
Pop-Tart!
Act 5, and the TV edition coming out on the same day. TV edition is the console version of the game.
Pop-Tart!
Ian, why is this game your Pop-Tart?
Because I've been waiting for 7 years.
So you played every chapter as it came out?
Yes. And the interludes.
Ooh, I did not know there were interludes.
Yeah. They're loosely related. Not really, but yeah.
So, Ian, I feel like I've seen one screenshot of this game, and it's like a gas station at night, and there's a truck.
Yeah, dude.
Is that
One
the,
screenshot, dude.
is what is this game?
So, if I recall, you're a delivery person, and you are trying to deliver something, and the person lives off Kentucky Route Zero, which is very weird, and things get weirder and weirder and weirder, and there's usually really good music by Ben Babbitt, I want to say, real good, and it's very hard to describe. It's like Twin Peaks as an adventure game.
Okay. So is it like a clicking?
Yeah, point
Adventure?
and click adventure.
Yeah, so maybe
Got it.
that's why they distinguish between TV edition, because I thought it was a weird way to
Well,
name the game.
because it's always been on PC only. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the TV edition is coming to consoles.
Yeah,
right.
actually,
I'm just thinking that the interface might be really different since you're not
Yeah,
going
I
to be pointing
wonder.
and clicking. Yeah.
I wonder if you'll have a cursor or if you actually control the character. It'd be weird to directly control the character in this game, I think, but I don't know. Well, and the gameplay style kind of varies throughout the different acts.
So it's not me just clicking on items and adding them to my inventory.
I don't recall if you have an inventory.
Oh.
There's a lot of selecting dialogue branches and walking over here and getting lost in Kentucky Route Zero, and it's great. And going to a shoegaze concert
Nice.
or listening to a bluegrass band on a raft for
Hold on, what
5
is-
minutes.
What is shoegaze?
It's a genre of music.
That Bloodworth also knows?
Blood loves shoegaze.
What does shoegaze sound like?
It's like a wall of sound.
No,
I guess.
Yeah, like a
Like kind of hushed vocals
Yeah,
and
like ethereal synth with singing, and it's called shoegaze because everyone would dance by looking down at their shoes and just kind of
Wow.
nodding.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I believe that's why it's called shoegaze. Maybe I'm wrong,
That is very funny. Okay.
That's some epic lore. Right
but
there. I
yeah,
like
that's in Act 3, I think that song, 3 or 4.
This game, it's a praised episodic game that has taken so long to come out. I feel like it's one of very few games that gets this kind of patience.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with it is I don't remember if I kickstarted it or it's been literally so long.
Yeah.
Maybe I just bought it initially or whatever back in the day. I don't remember how they did it, but I think that the people making it are generally well regarded. I think they've been at Indiecade and spoken and stuff, and they've talked about their influences. They're very film influenced, and they're just smart.
The more you talk about this game, the more it
individuals.
sounds like Death Stranding, you know?
Sort of. Well, not really, but yeah. I'm trying to think of other games. I guess
like
Disco Elysium.
Oxenfree, I'd compare it to.
Right.
It
Okay.
has the visually looks like a little bit like Oxenfree. Yeah. Headiness and intellectualismness and literariness. It probably most similar to Disco Elysium, I guess. Yeah.
You're losing me.
Yeah, you'd hate this game, Kyle.
We're moving on to
How
February.
much does Kyle hate disco, I wonder?
He hasn't tried it. I'd love to know what he thinks of Disco.
I'll make it a couple hours.
I
and
mean,
be
isn't
done
it
with
also you're isometric, they're looking at a tiny character?
You can zoom in and out. It's not that tiny.
Okay. In February 4th.
February.
That's Disco Elysium, by the way. I was talking about. You can
February.
zoom in and out.
The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, Tactics is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Unmass Entertainment, Bonus XP, are all co-studios. Both of them all worked on Stranger Things 3, the game, which I think is why this is also Netflix.
Such a
publishing
good
this.
game.
I can't find how much this game costs. I don't think they've figured that out yet.
Yeah.
I do know it'll be digital download only, I think. At least at
I
launch.
would not put any confidence in that date, the way it's kind of been
Yeah.
floating around and
Yeah.
vague. Because, what? It
They announced that
to the
mid-December.
end of the year, it
Yeah.
was just fall. Mm-hmm. And now it's oh, February, we got
It's
a
funny.
date.
I'm excited for this. I'll probably review it, and my expectations are very low.
Dude, Stranger Things 3, the game is really good. Extremely good. So, you're telling me it's the same developers?
Yeah.
High hopes.
So this is a Final Fantasy Tactics-esque game. I would say Final Fantasy Tactics modeled game. In fact, I like that they just put tactics on the end. They're like, hey, we're making a Final Fantasy Tactics game with a bunch of characters that were freaky Muppets.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's not. There are lots of games that do a turn-based RPG battle system strategy RPG battle system. I see it pop up, but I kind of just hey, let's just do exactly that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just let's just do
Yeah.
that thing that we liked so much. We'll put our own spins on it, but there's some appeal to that, I think.
This is a type of game where my party will be composed purely of the characters I like. I'm literally not even looking at their skill trees. I don't care. Like they're all healers. Great. It doesn't matter. Like,
What characters do you like?
one of the ones I'm really curious to see is there's a character named Hup who's a I don't know if it's like pod person, if that's like the official name, but he's very, very small. He thinks he's a paladin and he carries a spoon as like a sword. And so he's like purposely not very powerful. He keeps getting knocked around like the whole series. But like that's why he's so endearing. He's just like, hey, up, and he's like trying to be brave.
Great.
And so it's like, how in the world is this guy going to be formidable against like, all these other bigger, enemies in a tactics game? And it's like, of course he's going to be in my party. I'm never taking him out of my party.
Great. Yeah.
And the environments look really small, and it's the kind of thing where I was like, oh, it'll be zoomed out, so there'll be a lot of really interesting detail to the environments and the characters, and like the character models are like,
They are definitely that. Yes.
So yeah, it's just not. I'm not seeing anything that's like blowing my mind compared to any other tactics game I've played. But I just like I love that Dark Crystal series could have had a card game, could have had a Kentucky Route Zero variant, anything. And like I would have been like, yep, sign me up. I will at least check it out. So yeah, I'll be there for that.
It sounds insane, but yeah, there is something appealing to the IP that is applied to this model, right? Like there's something nice about playing a licensed game sometimes.
That's the only reason the look of Stranger Things was really cool. It looks awesome. But
Yeah.
because it was Stranger Things, I was like, oh, I love the show. Give it a shot.
That's the beat 'em up, right?
Yeah.
Is beat 'em up inappropriate? I think there is like leveling up and things, right?
Yeah, dude, you like go through the town and stuff. It's whole thing's co-op.
It's like the whole story of season 4 or 3.
Or 3,
right?
yeah.
That's
We did
pretty
we
cool.
streamed it, Damiani and I.
Yeah.
Did Damiani have a good time?
Yeah, we had a great time. We like
Both of
completed
you?
the entire thing. Yeah, over like a couple streams.
Okay.
Quality game.
On February 6th, we see Grand Blue Fantasy Versus on the PlayStation 4 alone. Arc System Works and Cygames working on that. Arc System Works obviously makes a lot of 2D fighters. Cygames makes the Grand Blue games, which I have very little familiarity with.
Yeah.
But this looks like a really nice looking fighting game.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. This is definitely a Ben specialty.
Should we call
but
Ben?
Does Ben care about Grand Blue?
I don't know if he
Yes.
cares about Grand Blue. Does he? I know he cares about this game because
Of Arc System Works.
Yeah, Arc System
Yeah,
Works
it's
and
more
how the
likely
fighting
that
system
side,
looks.
yeah.
Yeah.
There is a cool Grand Blue RPG for consoles that I think is still in development. That looks
Yes,
awesome. But yeah,
yes.
I don't know. I do not know
That
much
game.
about. Looks great, right?
Yeah, where is that? It's got to be next gen, right?
I bet it's making the shift.
Yeah. It's,
We gotta make this. We gotta start with the phrase "making the shift."
yeah.
On February 6th was Grand Blue Fantasy. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, Dreams comes to PlayStation 4.
Dreams, Jones.
No,
So
With
you
the
might.
release date, like a big boy game.
I know.
Yeah, that might be confusing to you if you've seen people playing Dreams, streaming Dreams, even writing reviews about Dreams. But no, that game's been in early access this entire time. And the package that comes out on the 14th is actually pretty different, though same price, $40 US.
$40 is. I didn't know that until today.
It's a lot more appealing,
That's
right?
a really good
Yeah.
price point.
Yeah.
Will there be a large release day patch add-on type situation going when
Yes.
this happens? They're going to add just a ton of stuff.
The whole single player mode.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, I forgot
a lot
about
of
that.
the stuff
Yeah.
they created that they showed
Yeah.
a long time ago. It hasn't been in the game.
That's
at
a big
all.
deal.
Yeah.
I imagine there's going to be there wasn't a lot of assets from them. Like a lot of the stuff, if you go in now, if you're like, oh, I want to take like a car someone built and put it into my world, that car is going to be made by another random player. It's not going to be like from Media Molecule. Like that menu is surprisingly sparse. As someone who hasn't played that game for like 6 to 8 months. So I'm curious if they're going to have like a bunch of stuff up front, kind of Mario Maker style, just boom.
That was the thing that surprised me a lot too. Is like I was like, wow, these lists are really sparse.
Yeah.
It was a bummer.
You know what I would love more than anything, Jones? I see even just the trailer that they recently showed. Maybe it was a State of Play. It was State of Play.
It was a release date trailer. Yeah.
All of the characters like wobble the same. You know what I mean? You just put clothes onto the same 3D character model, and they all just walk around and they look so stupid. I would just love a good-looking character that moves well to be just basic. Like, get rid of that guy.
That seems like it'll come.
Yes, and it needs to come, dude,
Yeah.
because it's just like I see this little wobbler in every single even when it's just like, dude, check this out. I recreated all of Ghostbusters. I was like, cool, and like, whoa. It's just like it makes me like, ugh, how is that the default guy? this game's been developed for 8 years. Like, why? So that is like the one thing I wish. Is there anything you wish? You've put more time in Dreams than I have.
Well, the other thing too is like there are racing games, there are flying games where you're flying around blasting stuff in space. There's first person games, so it's like you can get away from Wobble Guy if you're like there are just puzzle games, like games you're interacting with crazy different interfaces. I'm really curious to see like what I have to do in that game, like what if I'm going into it with all the stuff that I've done so far, like you're gonna block me from that? Is there like a 2-3 hour like gauntlet I got to go through and then I get access to stuff? And how are they going to reorganize? I've talked about this before. Like, how are they going to reorganize the stuff that's already there? Because like I think that stuff's been around long enough that you need to make the tough decisions and be like, thank you so much for making this stuff. We're super proud of you. Huge pat on the back. It's not that great. And so we're going to put that over here, but we're going to highlight these things. Kind of like if you were just to go into like the Apple store and they're like, hey, these are the apps we played that are really great. These are like 5 games that are really good. If you like these genres, you'll love this tower defense game. You'll love this puzzle game, this word game or whatever. And I want them to start doing that, to be like, this is the one that you really need to start playing. Like that trailer that you saw, that kind of montage you can't like access the games that way.
Yeah.
It's like if I saw that and was like, oh cool, I want to go to their greatest hits. It's like it's not really set up that way.
Yeah.
It might be right now. Like literally, as we're recording this podcast, they might have changed it. But when I was playing, I was like, it would be like 1 in 10 was like, whoa, this is really cool. And like the other 6 would be unfinished, like literally like a screen. And then they're like, check back later for updates. And like, okay, should be labeled. There should be a big warning before I jump into this game. Like, this game's not done. Like us Media Molecule are telling you, you're going to have a bad time if you jump into this. Wait, play this though.
Yeah. Do you think? I don't think I've ever had this conversation with anyone yet about the merits of Super Mario Maker 1, where when you're trying to build, they didn't let you have most of the stuff on day one. And actually, it was the stuff unlocked day by day, not by progress.
Which was like kind of divisive when it happened, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People were not into that.
That is a bad decision.
And so I'm thinking back on it, Ian, and playing through Super Mario Maker 2 this year, I kind of liked it. I
mean,
kind of liked being limited to these things, learning these things, and being forced to just focus on these things and learn these things before I move on.
Gotta walk before you run.
Tie it to
Yeah.
progression, though. Tie it to a tutorial. Don't tie it to the literal calendar date.
Trial like tutorial missions where you're limited in your tools, like, hey, make this
Right.
with these and then move on. And
Yeah,
Like
that's-
if someone has an 8-hour day and they just want to play Mario Maker, why force them to change the date on their system? It's like,
If
Yeah.
there's such a quick way around it too,
Right.
You could just do that, which I never really did because I reviewed the first game. I was just like, oh, well, all right. I'd like to get it all right now. Thank you.
That is really funny, Jones. Little Big Planet did that kind of thing where they would have tutorials, and that's how you would unlock the new switches and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, the way they did it obviously they learned their lesson. I love the way they did it in 2, where it's like you have access to everything, and there's a tutorial that you can do if you want. Like that's the way to do it with a game like this, like with Dreams.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I think it's easy to scare people off. It's so easy to
Yeah.
scare people off.
Well, and this one had Mario Maker 2 had the single player that kind of introduces you to the concepts, and I think that's what the Dream single player is there for too.
Yeah, I really want to play the Dream single player.
Yeah.
Also on the 14th, Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold is coming to Switch from Level 5.
And Nintendo publishing.
And Nintendo's publishing that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's how I found out about it. I'm just like trying to see, okay, what's the Nintendo guy coming out next month? What is Snack World?
Level 5.
I still don't exactly know, but yeah.
I mean, I almost toaster strudeled this thing.
Sure.
So Snack
But
World
level
is
5.
that's level 5 hasn't been hot in a long
Inconsistent,
time.
I know.
Yeah.
I still hold on hope.
When it was Huber, when it was like the team who made Dragon
PS2.
Quest 8, right? It was like they're gonna go off and like, oh
Galaxy,
man, yeah,
Dark Cloud, maybe.
yeah, they were just so hot. It was what was it? I think White Knight Chronicles
White Knight
was the first
Chronicles
time. I was
was
like,
the
oh, yeah.
Is this like a special edition? Why is it called Gold?
I had to look that up because there's no other edition released in the U.S. of this game, but this game was a Switch port of a 3DS game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so this is finally getting released in the US as this on Switch. This is all correct, Blood?
I remember it being like a port of something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's sort of an RPG, and so like level 5, when they announced it, it was a big deal. It's like we're making a show, we're making a game, we're making toys, and so it's like this whole like.
The Snack World Cinematic Universe.
Yes, and to me, I think I'm hostile toward that sort of thing where it's not natural. We're gonna do all these things at once. You're gonna love all this stuff
Immediate.
without letting it grow naturally. Yeah, and so maybe Snack World's sweet.
At the risk of sounding overly critical and negative,
Yeah.
Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold is like title poison. that title makes me never want to look at this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. Just hearing the dungeon crawl,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then having gold after
it
it.
sounds like
Yeah.
a grind to me. I don't want to crawl there. I don't want that.
I feel like sometimes there are Japanese developers that just want to make the most unappealing names. Like they're in they're like gambling somewhere. They're in a pachinko parlor, and it's like, all right,
All the words are down at the
it's
bottom.
not
Like,
about money. It's about
Yeah.
who's got to make the worst name this year. And, and it's like, yeah, you get stuff like the ones like that
Wait,
have
wait,
all
wait.
the like
I gotta put
semicolons.
Dissidia before Final Fantasy. I mean, if that's how it rolled. Okay.
And then
Kingdom Hearts.
And I'm not 100% sure this is Japanese, but you have like also I think I don't know if you saw it on your list, but somewhere in this quarter there's like Under Night Inbird
Yeah.
late CTL,
Yeah.
something like that.
Honestly, I couldn't tell. Yeah, I don't. It's. I think they're not adding much to that game. You're right. It's not. It's kind of like an Ultra Street Fighter 4 kind
Yeah.
of situation. So yeah, it didn't cover Under Night in Birth. But yeah, that's quite a title too. And I do think it's intentional. I think it makes it like kind of fun, or I don't know.
Undernight in birth ext : late bracket CL-R close bracket.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
part of the fun of it, I guess. That's the best I could say for it.
But like those kinds of titles, I have less of an issue with, where it's like that's just complete insanity, right? Like that's sort of intriguing because I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
This is just such a bad title. It makes it feel like a budget title.
I
like a cheap
mean,
game.
this game seems like am I wrong in thinking this is like targeted to like 7 to 11-year-olds?
I don't think you're wrong, no.
Yeah. It's a very what's that other one? The Ghosts.
Yokai Watch.
Yokai Watch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What
Wow.
a pull.
He was on the same page with you there. They're
Yeah.
also level 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on that same kind of like they're trying to hit the same market with those two.
It is rated teen.
Oh yeah.
Snack World.
Maybe you start with Yokai and then you upgrade to Snack World when you
What kind
when
of
you outgrow the Yokai.
Yeah, what kind of shenanigans am I about to see that only a teenager could see?
A little bit of fantasy violence, mild language, and suggestive themes.
Ooh, okay. Just name it Snack World. Anyway, February 28th, Iron Man VR coming to PlayStation 4. Camouflage is a studio who is making that game, who previously has only made Republic. They did a VR version of that as well. That's a $40 VR game. It was the first impressions of that game were really positive of people who had played it.
Yeah.
It just had a horrible launch trailer.
Yeah,
but
I remember that trailer.
yeah,
Oh.
apparently it's not a bad game.
Or at least it's not a bad demo.
Yeah,
Public
exactly.
is a solid series, I hear. So
Like a lot of VR, you gotta try it. I'm assuming I haven't
Yeah.
played it, but it's
Yeah.
the kind of thing where like once you experience it, you're like, oh yeah, it's fun. Yeah. And I think of all of the Avengers of like honestly of all like Marvel characters, it's probably you could probably make kind of like a Star Fox-esque, Iron Man game that would be really fun. Where I can move, but not too much.
No, apparently there's a lot of exploration, Jones. It's like you are in this environment, go wherever you want. I think I'd rather fly as Doctor Strange. I'd rather like do
Yeah.
cool things with
There was a VR game called Megaton Rainfall that was like the Superman VR game. That was like how a lot of people referenced that, and that was really frustrating, like targeting things and like definitely got the the like I can like zoom over to that building. That was really fun. But then like once I got there, it was like okay, okay. So how responsive it is gonna be interesting. Like how much am I weapon switching? How hard is it? I wonder.
Where do we put this between Astrobot? Will this be more or less successful than Astrobot?
more successful
Do you think so?
commercially,
Yeah, that's what I'm
less
curious about.
successfully critical.
Okay.
I mean, is it
Yeah.
on? Is it available on more than just PS?
No.
This
Oh,
is
it's
a
just
PSVR
PSVR
exclusive.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
I don't know. Because I just don't think it, like, Astrobot, people talk about it every month. They kept talking about it again and again and again. And
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to come back into the
Right.
conversation after launch.
Maybe more in line with Vader Immortal. Like you hear people now and then bring up Vader
But
Immortal, but it was also like,
so
Yeah.
that at least,
Yeah.
I think there was 3 parts to that. So
I think it's a fair analogy, Blood. Yeah, I bet it's going to have that Vader Immortal buzz. The VR heads will know it, right?
mm-hmm.
But I don't know if
I
it'll
mean,
make people
Iron Man.
cross over.
It's Marvel.
Yeah, are you playing this?
Yeah, it's PSVR. Yeah, use the work one.
oh,
Yeah, I'll play it.
You
got
will
him.
take the work PSVR home to play Iron Man VR.
I
got him.
say that. I mean, I still need to play Blood and Truth, but every time I think about like setting everything up, I get
Yes.
so discouraged.
But that's the thing, though. you get to knock them out in batches. You get that one,
That's what I
and
did.
then it's like,
the
okay,
first
I'm gonna
time I
play a
got
few.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Resident Evil 7, I knocked out like 3 or 4 games.
I always
hot
got
all the
too
time, yeah.
sweaty and like sick to play for more long on a VR night.
It's winter.
I get it.
It's out in February.
Also on February 28th, One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows for PC, PS4, Xbox One.
How do you make a One Punch Man game?
This is the thing, Huber.
how
That's
do
what
you
I'm
do
excited about.
this?
When it was announced, we asked that.
Yep.
And there's this weird mechanic where like he runs in, he's late, and then he shows up, and it, like basically that's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
But to be able to play as Saitama, they found a workaround. You can play as Dream version Saitama, who is underpowered.
The dream version is
Yeah.
underpowered.
So it's Saitama wearing his PJs, and so he'll still like pop, 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 but he's not. He can't beat anybody in one punch. It's actually just like he's just the regular
It's a
character
normal
in this fighting game. Yeah.
That's funny.
This is it's a 3D fighting game. I think I'd almost prefer a 2D fighting game, but I guess these sell. Anime 3D fighting games, they just work.
Yeah.
Let them go. And I think it's just that kind of game.
Story? Like season 1 or
Yeah.
2 or
It looks like even stuff that hasn't been in the anime yet is in this
Whoa.
game.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. A lot of them
First,
get
like,
into
couple
spoilers
arcs.
Yeah.
because, well, I mean, that's not even an issue anymore because it's like the anime in Japan isn't usually
just
that far
manga-
ahead
if it's
anymore.
based
But the
off
manga, yeah, for that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, One Punch Man is super weird because there's the online comic and then the manga and then the anime.
Oh wow.
It's weird stuff,
One of
dude.
the few animes I'm caught up in.
Yeah. Wait, are you?
Yeah. We did the anime show,
Yes.
Punch Man.
Yes.
Yep.
I still liked it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it had problems for sure, but I mean, hopeful for another season whenever that, or if that happens.
It's got to happen.
Just, I'm interested to play this game. Like, this seems like a fun stream game where, you know, we all just get in a room and play this together. Because,
I have to say-
again, the concept of a One Punch Man video game is just such a novelty.
I was surprised there was a lot of English voice acting in the trailer.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it does have this old little story mode and stuff. Like, if
think you
it's
play as other
funny,
people?
Yes.
Okay.
You play
that's
as a lot of other people.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it will be awesome because
Yeah.
then when you get to be Saitama
Yes.
coming in,
That's what the whole show's about, too.
Yeah.
It's like watching these other guys struggle
Yes.
before he shows up. Yeah.
that's
Cool.
some dopamine.
Before we get to March, we must, of course, handle this week in Joker news. Did you all see that Joaquin Phoenix won a Golden Globe this weekend?
Saw the blurb, didn't see the globes though.
Yeah, so what you missed is that, you know how they do like a press conference afterward? They have like press interviews. And
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is never into it. He's kind of grumpy. So while he was talking and answering questions, the Joker took his trophy and replaced it with a big salami. Joaquin didn't notice for 10 minutes that he was holding a salami.
But he noticed eventually.
And he would notice eventually. He was really upset about it. And actually, nobody knows where the Golden Globe even ended up.
You'd think he'd be able to smell it faster than 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
Yeah.
Plus the weight differential. Who knows?
Didn't he like burn his nostrils on the set of Signs or something?
I
I
heard
heard it was the master, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
The engine room scene. He was on that ship.
That was it.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah,
the
yeah,
cornfield.
No. Yeah.
Got it.
So on March 3rd, Final Fantasy VII Remake comes to PlayStation 4. And that, my friends, is a Pop-Tart. That is my Pop-Tart.
Cool.
That's like a carton of Pop Tarts.
It's a whole box of Pop-Tarts.
That's a box. That's a box.
It's half a box of Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Maybe a third of a box of Pop Tarts.
cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts, baby. Ooh,
That's your favorite Pop-Tart.
it is. Cinnamon is my favorite
Who are
Pop-Tart.
you?
The brown sugar cinnamon. Those are
Yeah, brown sugar cinnamon. Yeah.
That was my bro's fave.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
It's so good. I don't know how much we need to discuss about this game. I'm surprised it's early March. And honestly, I'm like nervous that it's so soon.
I'm anxious, not nervous.
Yeah. We know the demo is coming.
This is too much.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
playing
Demo,
probably,
yeah,
probably
I'm
within the
into
next
that.
7 days. We'll be playing that demo.
Oh, I want to play
Nice.
the hell out of that demo.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's
Because
so.
I'm really still torn on like, do I try the new style or do I try the the turn-based? Yeah.
And
That's
this
what's
is
great about
your
the demo.
chance.
That's why you
Both.
try
Yeah.
both.
That's what, you know what that I love that. I love that because when a new game comes out, you do want to play through it. And I feel like testing out these two like RPG systems,
Totally.
you're like, man, I just want to play the game. Wow, yeah. Let's demo it
Can
up.
you switch
bud.
on the fly or no?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you could.
Yeah.
Experiment.
But I just mean I don't even want to experiment. I just want to progress. When the
Yeah.
game is out, when it's that
Yeah.
first weekend and everybody's writing their tweets, I just got to play through this game.
This is a quintessential like put your PJ pants on
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like disappear from the world for 3 days.
Yep. Monumental video game release.
So here's what could go
Even if
wrong.
you're not a JRPG or Final Fantasy fan.
We
this
talk
is
about it a lot.
huge.
We talk about it a lot on this podcast, Hubert. Here's what could go wrong. It ends too soon. I don't think it'll be monumental if it ends too
Oh,
soon.
no one's gonna be happy with the ending.
Yeah.
No one's gonna finish that
I'm
and be
here
like,
for that.
nice.
But because-
like,
because
it's
I
gonna,
asked-
everyone's gonna be pissed.
I ask you to think about this.
Okay.
I ask you
Okay.
to put the history of JRPGs in context. Square Enix specifically.
Okay.
They take a long time to release these video games. Really long. Would you rather wait 3 more years from now and have to live just waiting and waiting and waiting? They keep a trailer pops up every now and again, but it's like 3 years away to just play
Yeah.
it all at once? Or would you
Probably.
rather enjoy? Would you rather enjoy this massive?
It's got to be massive.
It's
it
gotta
has to be massive.
There's no
Also,
way
the
there's no way
other
this thing
thing-
is less than 40 hours.
The other
Okay.
thing that's weird to me about it is the timing and the generation. And so we get this weird thing where like the
That's a
first
fair
part of the game is not
point.
looking as good as the rest of the game, and like
Fair.
they've got to sort of
Oh, I
upgrade
want
it
that.
in
You
between.
know they'll do a
Fair.
remaster of
They're
it.
gonna remake the remake
They're gonna
before
remake
it's
the
done.
remake for PS5
yeah.
before part 2 is yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't they say they're like adding a whole bunch of stuff? Like
They're adding a
they're
lot of
making,
stuff, yes.
What's her name? Way more fleshed out. The
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot
soldier
more
from the
between the story
beginning.
beats. Yeah.
Jesse?
Jesse. That's right. Yeah.
I think this game's gonna be massive. I don't like people are concerned. Oh, you're gonna beat it in a weekend. There's no way. Even if you're crit pathing, which why would you? I mean, like there's so people complain more and more and more all the time about how long games are and how there's way too much to play, and we're in this mindset now where it's just like burn through this, on to the next, on to the next.
But I
And
think
it's
it
like
could be a
beca-
victim of the other problem though, is where the pacing feels too slow because they're trying to pad it out.
Still, I think it's going to encourage even more, like, to take your time and really sink into it, without facing down the barrel of like, wow, this is a 100-hour game.
Well, and it depends on if if they're smart about it, they're adding things that have a little replayability or something too, right? Like
Yeah, I just.
games and whatever. I don't know.
And
okay.
sorry, one last point.
Yeah.
So we wait so long for games. They come, you beat it, and it's over, and it's usually on to the next. Like, of course, games
Kingdom
stay.
Hearts 3.
Yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a great example, but like, of course, some games stay with you. I always think about Arthur Morgan,
Yeah.
But like, we wait so long, and there's so much hype for games. They come, we consume. It's not like Death Stranding. That's long gone. Such an old game. This way,
I just finished it. But okay.
yeah, we get to live Final Fantasy VII for a long time now. You
Hubert,
finish this game,
You're
and
tapping
you,
into something.
You have something to look
You're tapping into
forward
something.
to when the credits
Yes.
roll. It's not over by a long shot.
No,
more to come.
This is truth, dude.
Yeah.
You're tapping into some truth, actually, because I do believe that we appreciate games more before they come out, even.
Yeah.
And so this long series of 3 or 4 Final Fantasy VII games
Yeah.
is going to make the game legendary.
Wait, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
it could be like I think
You
it's going to be
think
a
so?
trilogy. Yeah,
Trilogy?
Wow.
3 parts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when that final one comes out, it's gonna be so epic.
I think it needs to end with the trailer that has gameplay of part 2. I think that'll
Oh, for
get people
sure.
revved up.
Coming
Yes.
next year. Or
Yeah,
something.
I think
Yeah.
it needs to have some gameplay in the end of credits trailer.
That'd be cool. Or maybe a cool 100% completion reward or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, some true ending.
But do we think it? Will this one end? Is it Midgar only?
It is most likely Midgar
Yeah.
only.
Like you won't even get golden saucer or anything in this one.
No.
But remember, expanded.
Expanded.
So Midgar only could still be so much more than it was
I
originally.
mean, Midgar
Right.
could be like a GTA game.
Yeah,
It could be,
yeah,
it could be
yeah.
like
I don't-
huge.
Yes.
I'm not
Cyberpunk.
concerned, Huber, over like my own feelings. Like I'm gonna enjoy this for whatever, and then when it ends, just like, oh cool, I get to move on to something else. Great.
Yeah.
But like it was too short is the most obvious preloaded opinion of 2020. Like
Yeah.
that's literally the easiest thing that you can say.
Go
and
ahead,
just
write the
join
tweet
the
now.
group.
Yeah.
And just like you just
Yep.
walk in and you have your ticket. Where do I stand? Over there. Okay. It was too short. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, wasn't it? Like, yes, it was. Haha. I analyzed it. My take is hot.
March 6th, we just talked about this. A Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team
Oh, nice. Yeah.
DX. You know what? I want to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to call out this trailer. I was thinking ahead of time I was thinking should I call out this trailer in the podcast? I'm going
What
to.
happened?
This VO, dude. Pokemon, you have too much money. Pokemon Company, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You got to do better.
Number one.
Okay, let me play you the end of this trailer.
They're number one.
Okay.
Boy.
And then I'm going to have a question for you.
'Kay.
Okay.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
Was that Jones?
It kind of sounds like Brandon Jones.
Let me play it one more time.
That's the first thing I thought, Ian. Totally.
I've been found out. Checks in the mail.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
Can we have Jones say that, please?
Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
have
Jones,
Jones
okay,
say
yeah,
that?
now Jones.
Please,
Now Jones. Now
I
Jones.
honestly don't even know the name of that. What is it again?
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team. DX.
Yes.
Because he's doing it's weird. It's an English guy sounding like he's a Japanese guy trying to sound like an English guy.
Oh my god.
I don't know how he does that. It's
No.
a guy who clearly speak like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
I kind of like the Jones take.
Well,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was my impression of him.
Oh, what's Jones? Give me your actual. You're doing a trailer.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is the climax of the trailer.
Okay.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
excited,
better,
like
way
legitimately
better.
excited.
How much did they pay this man?
Like, oh, I'm so pumped.
Jones, how much did they pay you to do the bad version?
I think it's probably someone on Nintendo's team. You know, it's probably
Oh,
like
yeah.
a treehouse guy who's super nice, who didn't ask for anything extra to do that part of the trailer, right?
But that's what's so much fun about analyzing trailers. It's
Yeah.
just like, would it have made a difference? Like,
No.
is
At
there
the end
anything?
of the day, no. It would have made the trailer better. Heck yes. To have a better VO on it.
Right, but would anyone have actually spent more money? You
No,
know, if he,
yeah, exactly.
so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You would not have gotten a return on your investment. So whatever.
If it was Jones doing special guest VO, though, it would have been viral.
yes.
Definitely.
I
If it
think,
was an announced thing, like,
Call
hey,
him up.
Jones is
Just
doing
call
this
Jones.
commercial.
Just call him.
yeah. I don't know if you'd have to spend more money on it, but like, I would love one of the. I mean, there's no voice acting in that, right? Like, I would love just somebody from the cartoon series doing it, like a
they-
really
they-
crazy one.
They
Catch 'em,
They keep those.
Pokemon! You know, like-
They keep those very separate, with
Yeah.
the exception of the voices of Eevee and Pikachu.
yeah, I'd have Eevee do that. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Pikachu's voice is heavily protected, I would assume.
Heavily protected.
My goodness. Like Mickey Mouse levels of
And I
preservation.
imagine she's more expensive than Eevee. I don't know. If
I
it's the same
do. I
actor,
wonder
but-
if I bet she is more expensive than Eevee. They are different voice actors. Okay. On March 11th, Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out on PC and Xbox One. Moon Studios, same developer. I believe this is their only franchise as well. I think they started off.
Oh
with
yeah.
Ori.
I mean, it's just a couple of guys. They're like scattered across the globe too. They're all basically working from home.
This is a $30 game, by the way. Also,
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
That's
cool.
so friendly.
right? I
My
thought this
goodness.
is a $60 game. No, this
Yeah.
is a $30 game.
Wow.
And it's probably on Game Pass.
It is
Oh,
definitely
for
on
sure.
Game Pass. Yes. Yeah.
It-
Also, praise me. I didn't pluralize games.
Yeah.
Game.
I'm learning.
Take my praise.
I accept your praise.
Yeah. I mean, we've been waiting for this one. It's been a little
little
while.
longer than it probably should have been.
Almost hitting that Cuphead levels of it's been a while here. But boy, oh boy, I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait. This is going to be just a feel-good hit of the month. So pumped.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the realm it's in. It's a huge year of video games. And I think it might even show up. It's the first one I think it showed up big the year it came out. Obviously, this is like a new generation, and you just have these huge heavy hitters, especially the games that are coming out in April and beyond that.
Hard to ask for a better small game.
I don't think this is a small game.
Yeah, I don't think
In terms of like, you're talking about a couple people scattered across.
Got you.
Indie style game here.
Yeah.
Amidst these huge AAA games, like this is the best.
Yeah, you know what? Even budgetary wise,
Yeah.
sometimes it is nice. Oh, that game's just $30. Thank you. Yeah, I
Yes.
get that actually. Yeah.
Would you call this a double A? Or is this...
Well, the Hellblade the first
Right,
Hellblade
right.
dubbed that their own genre,
Right.
an
Yeah.
indie AAA game. I
Yeah.
really like that.
I don't think this is indie AAA. I'm cool with AA.
Yeah. What's A then? Just super indies?
A is our next title, March 13th. My Hero One's Justice 2, coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch.
That's quadruple A. maybe.
I know nothing about the first game.
Yeah, it's another anime 3D
Right.
brawler. 3D fighting game, I guess I should say.
I wish I was caught up on My Hero. I'd be all over this. But
Yeah,
I'm not.
I am caught up, but it's just
You're
it's,
caught up?
it's a weird thing.
But
for-
you watching the show? Right?
Freaked me out. He caught up recently.
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're up
We
to
started
date.
watching it in the fall, and now we're just watching the new episodes as they come out.
This guy.
I
We were a
know,
couple
this
weeks behind
guy.
for Christmas. But
Me
know.
too. Me same. So I'm just catching up now. Cool.
Are you gonna play this?
No.
Why not?
To me, the genre is off.
Got it.
Yeah.
Again, if it's a 2D fighting game, I'm in. If it's a 3D action game, I'm in. Like exploring stuff, yes.
Like the weird Boruto Shinobi Strikers.
I'm just not into that.
Not into
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's a weird thing too, because one of those small things that I'm kind of wish the anime wouldn't do is everybody announcing their moves when they do them. And so in a video game context, it's just going to be like constant yelling out their moves over and over again. And there's not that many moves per person. So
Blood, I like how exciting is it when a student has been working really hard and then they debut a new move?
sure.
What did they say?
Yeah. But it's just really odd to me when like a lot of the strategy just kind of comes down to like they don't know what I can do. And then you just kind of announce it, and like somebody's there. All right, this is what that is.
Yeah.
Got it.
That'd be a really great Souls mod. Like all the bosses just yell like the move.
Yes,
before
that
they do
would
it.
be. Yes.
That's a really funny idea.
Speaking of Souls, March 13th, the closest we can get, Neo 2, coming to PS4. By the way, I was surprised PS4 only. I think there's obviously some partnership there because it was announced at the PlayStation press conference. Team Ninja, of course, making this game. Also, this was just earlier this week, and again, why I think there's some partnership. On the PlayStation blog is where they made this post. The team is making a lot of changes after the beta they had last year. And they had a survey, and they read all of the responses, and they're making a ton of just big balance changes mostly, but they're actually listening to people, their feedback from a beta, and making their game better for it. I love it every time that any game does that.
I got high hopes for Neo 2. I burnt out on Neo 1, but I think, and especially with what you just said, I didn't even know that. I think Neo 2 is just going to build off Neo 1 and be awesome.
Yeah.
An intimidating game to release in the March-April months.
It wasn't their intent. It did get delayed to here, yeah.
Yeah,
And so it is
so-
going to be tough in there for sure.
That's a tall order to commit to, but very high hopes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, man. Whoa. It's tough. Prequel, it turns out. I'm not sure why that came up.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
that's
is?
what I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
we-
I love that even more because I didn't finish one, and that
Right.
there was a little hesitation there because I burnt out on one, and I'm like, yeah, do I really care enough about the lore to just skip one, go into two? That eases my conscience
Man,
a little
cool.
bit.
Opposite. Prequels are always like a letdown for me. Just
Jones?
because it's like we already know you make it out of this.
I get that.
I'm nervous we don't know a lot. I'm nervous we don't have a lot to talk about right now. about this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure.
Actually, I'm nervous about that with Ori as well, because like while that game is so gorgeous from an outside perspective for somebody who hasn't played it, it looks like another Ori, which is a great thing if you really liked Ori. But like, I could see if you showed me footage from the new one, I couldn't. And then we're like, oh no, actually it's the old one. No, actually it's the new one. No, actually it's I'd be like, I don't know.
I hear ya.
As somebody, And so this is the same thing with Neo 2. Like and honestly, I have not done my research. But it's a bummer from just an outside perspective. I can't tell you one thing that they're improving.
So I think for both of these, Jones, and tell me if it's enough. So I think for Ori, their sell is we have a lot of boss fights in this one.
Yeah, that trailer
definitely-
after that, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
please don't show me any more.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why they haven't.
But they are
Because
pressing hard on
there
the boss
was
fight
backlash.
aspect. Yep. And then I would say for Neo 2, it's turning into the demon mode. Is like this is what you can do in this game. You can do this demon mode thing.
Cool. Not that sequels have to have a gimmick. It's
Right,
just
no, it's interesting.
We're talking about being competitive. We're
Yeah.
talking about stacking up against this just roller coaster year of
Yeah.
games we're about to have.
No, that
so
makes sense to
so
me, yeah.
much of which hasn't even been announced yet. So
Right. Is a demon mode enough? Is that
Yeah.
enough of a differentiator for what's coming the next week?
There's probably going to be so many refinements though that
Oh,
go
yeah.
unmentioned.
Yeah.
of it,
a very very technical game, and
like
is
yeah.
Sekiro gonna shoot it in the knee a little bit in terms of kind of people being like, I just kind of played a game similar to that. That might be better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, like, again, prequel stuff. Like, so does he lose the ability to become a demon later?
You're not that guy.
Or you
yeah,
play as
someone
someone
different
else?
probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then never mind.
I think you actually make your character in this one too.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Can
Yeah.
you be a woman?
I believe you can be a woman.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
Hey, that's something.
Hey, that's something.
And then she can turn into a demon.
Hey, cool.
March 20th, Animal Crossing New Horizons coming to Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
That is my toaster strudel.
Oh no, it's
Get
my
outta here.
Pop-Tart.
That's my Pop-Tart, baby. Oh, that's your Pop-Tart blood?
Yeah.
Wait, that's really this your two Pop-Tarts?
Of course,
Yeah.
man.
Nice.
Don't say of
What
course,
flavor's
man.
your Pop-Tart blood?
I like cherries.
Oh, cherries. Okay, I'll take the blueberry then.
Okay, you
No
two.
strawberry?
I'll take
Strawberry's fine, yeah.
Strawberry and blueberry to me are 50-50.
Strawberry's fine.
Right.
Who are you
Strawberry's
people?
essential.
You're good. No, I'm saying strawberry and blueberry are the
Strawberry's like-
same.
Anything with
basic.
fruit is better than Kyle's madness.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to
I love the
make
brown
you.
sugar. Those are amazing. Don't
No.
let them bully you.
I think he's saying madness that I think this is a toaster strudel.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I'm
No,
talking
he's
about
no, I
talking about
get
that
it.
weird cinnamon garbage. You're talking about.
Yeah.
I could, yeah.
No, here's the thing. I'm going to make you two defend why this game is a Pop-Tart.
Okay.
Please. Why is this game a Pop-Tart?
This game, unlike anything, more than anything else that's coming out in 2020, is so perfectly going to fit into my life specifically. So this is a very personal Pop-Tart. Like,
Okay.
I
They
know,
should be, yes.
I know exactly how much, like even stuff like the carrying over from last year, Outer Worlds, Death Stranding. That's just like, boy, this is fantastic. I would love to play more of this. I just don't have time. Like, I don't have time. Not even the hours that it would take to get to, 30, 40, 50 total, but like the hours that you really need to play in a given amount of time to really make it worth it. Like if I'm halfway through a delivery and I got to stop and then I finish the last 10% of that delivery in Death Stranding and I'm like, what? Oh, right, this guy. It's like you kind of need to do the whole thing in one leg to really have that emotional attachment to that city, to make that connection, to finish that story chapter. Whereas in this, it's just so perfect for not only how I'm going to be playing, how I know other people that are going to be playing, like Blood, like my wife, like people that are going to show up at our anniversary, stream, which is like right after this game comes out, which is crazy timing.
Oh, a couple of days.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to really slowly taking this game apart and slowly chipping away at it throughout the year. So all of the other modes, aside, which actually is legitimately exciting as a fan of Animal Crossing, the stuff that they're adding, which I'm sure Blood will get into. But
Yeah, Blood, why is this your Pop-Tart? A man of refined taste, and this is the game you pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've always get really well, I can't say always, but like the GameCube one and the DS game and the 3DS game, like all just really absorbed me for very long periods of time. Really felt, the impetus to come back to the game. And I think the other thing that's really, it's the thing that I'm also very nervous about because I hope there's not too much from the stupid phone game that bleeds in there. But it's not the same game. There's so many times in Animal Crossing's history where you could say, yeah, it's kind of the same game. It's the same, you got the same bed, you got the same this and that, and everything still kind of looks like an N64 game. But this is like so much stuff they started saying off the bat in the trailer. It's like, what is happening? What is this game? Do I like this? I'm not sure. until I get into it. And so I think just that sense of discovery after having been through kind of the same motions over and over again, that this is going to be different.
So that's an interesting point, Blood, because why it's my toaster strudel is I believe that the franchise has been novelty driven for a long time. I think when the 3DS version, exploded, it just felt very unique. It felt like just unlike any other game that you're playing right now. It's just something that could only exist on this platform. And I am also nervous that there's just not a spark to this one, that there isn't this very unique thing that it is offering a game that other games can't give you, just in populating this island, right? And grinding and chopping trees so that you can build this island up. I don't know if that's the appeal. I don't know if that was the right take. I don't know if that's appealing as a player to build up this environment, I guess, and explore that with your friends.
Like connecting with other people now is a lot different than it was when Animal Crossing debuted. I get that.
And making your own shirt is different now.
Sure.
Having these characters use words that you used is different now. To me, it needs a lot of novelty, right? It needs KK Slider showing up on Saturdays. I had to look it up. Is KK Slider still in the game? They're like, it hasn't been shown yet, but KK Slider will be there on Saturday nights. It's okay, but what, is he just gonna come to my island and hang out? I gotta go to KK Slider to hear him sing.
That's fun.
No, that's what I mean. That's fun. But instead of this game, he's gonna come to my island. I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you're not invited to my island. I want to go see your concert, dude.
He was always in your town. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He tours, man.
I'm sure there's a place
Well, I mean,
on the island that's specific for him.
Yeah.
The game wasn't really your town until New Leaf, right?
I mean, yeah, New Leaf is when you were the mayor, but I mean,
Yes.
it's always your town because everyone's town was different.
Yeah.
Everyone had, a different layout, and if you got the wrong layout, then you've got to go crazy ways to get around the. Oh, and that's one of the things, the tools that just let you cross the river wherever you want and stuff like that. Just
A lot of quality of life stuff.
yeah,
right?
a lot of little stuff like that.
Yeah.
and a lot of extra time put into the game. Remember, they're stock tanked after they delayed this game. It's Animal Crossing's not come out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sell. So, but they're taking that time. They're saying let's make sure that we do this good.
True.
Referencing the stocks.
We expected a Wii U Animal Crossing the entire life of the Wii U. Yeah.
Right. We got that weird plaza thing.
And that horrible, horrible board game.
Board game.
Yes, because they're well, we got to put something in Animal Crossing.
Dude,
Yeah.
I am almost certain Animal Crossing killed the amiibo market. All those retailers did not want any more of those after Animal Crossing stuff just sat on shelves.
Ooh. Blood, I love that theory.
Dang.
Because it was at the height of amiibo, and then
Picked all those amiibo up, baby. They're sitting on my shelf.
John's
Just
bought 'em.
here we go.
They are nice.
It's funny because Animal Crossing's in a bizarre line because it I do want refinement, but at the same time I was terrified that there was gonna be some stupid gimmick. They were gonna be this year, hot air balloons. And what? And
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You live in a hot air balloon now, and I'm I don't and so it's gonna be I just want that on my Switch, make it better. And
Sure.
I think that's kind of what they're doing. And I initially was no, not a weird island. Oh no, this is the dumb gimmick. And was oh, but because you're going to be building a lot of this stuff, because it's going to mean more to me when I actually construct it. It's going to mean more to me when I went out and just picked up a thing, and that's not just oh, I'm going to sell that for bells and that's it. It's no, this is now a part of my inventory. This is now a thing I'm actually going to maybe trade with someone. It's not just do you have peaches? I got apples. It's do you have any planks of wood? You do. Oh, cool. I have this. I got nails. Cool. You can if you need that. Yeah.
oh, that sounds so miserable to me.
Sounds awesome, dude.
I wonder how wrapped up Jones will get.
I'm
That'll
so.
be the
I wish I
test.
could attach just
Yeah.
5 nails to a letter and just send it to Bloodworth, and that's right when he
I
needed the
actually,
nails, and he's
yeah,
oh, thanks.
Yeah. I think you probably will be able to do that kind of thing.
It's my obligation to play this because I'm so fortunate enough to be around all of you fine folk. Animal Crossing. This is a communal style game.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
So
yeah.
if you're bringing your Switches with Animal Crossing, I'm there.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Also,
I wonder if this one will hit all 9.
No.
All 9 of
No,
us.
I don't think it will.
Don's not playing Animal Crossing.
Really?
Don could.
Might. He
Don's
loves
playing,
town
dude.
stuff, dude. He
I
loves
don't
that.
know.
Ben
You know-
definitely is.
I don't think Damiani is.
I could see Damiani.
Yeah, I don't think
Sure.
Damiani is.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
I think he'll skip it.
I'll probably
You can't
play
speedrun
it.
this game.
On the same day, counter programming. Blood's good at giving me zingers to transition off of. Doom Eternal coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One,
Do it.
and
Pop-Tart.
Stadia.
Stadia.
Yeah.
The first time we get to say that today.
Stadia.
That's the same day.
Same day.
That's
yeah.
Well, you
So
did mention
funny.
Stadia earlier with the Savage Planet thing.
Savage
Hey,
Planet.
yeah, that's got to be coming to Stadia too, right? They own them.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, Doom Eternal's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, another game that they delayed to give it the right amount of time.
Good.
Yeah, and
Delay
it was
it.
it was a delay that it was like,
It hurt.
but
It hurt.
go for it.
Yeah.
Make this a good game.
Definitely.
And I think it will be.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last time we did Pop-Tarts and Toaster Strudels. But here it is again. And yeah, you know what? There's nothing new to say about it since the delay. I don't think they've released any new things, any new trailers or
I've
anything. It is just an assuredly good game, I think.
I'm gonna enjoy Twitter when it's all Animal Crossing and Doom updates.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really gonna be good.
Crossover things, yeah.
Always
yeah.
so exciting when a landmark franchise releases a game. You know, Doom is video game history.
Did you see all the updates I posted today about what they're doing with like Doom 1 and 2 on
I did see that.
current platforms?
Yeah.
So for the first time, 60 frames per second, which is weird to me.
Yeah. And then they're adding like the support for like, I don't know, for like the levels that people have created.
That was
Yeah, be able to
crazy.
browse that stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's craziness.
Quick save R and then quick load is L.
Nice.
Yeah, just boop boop.
Master your speedruns
Yeah.
over and over and over.
But I thought that was really cool that they're doing that many things to such an.
And
old
it sounds
game.
like they're still going to be working. Like they're just like committed to this. Like it's some ongoing game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that is all versions, not just the Switch version that recently came out. Just yeah, hey, why not?
So cool.
On March 24th, Bleeding Edge,
Bleeding Edge.
Yeah.
PC, Xbox One. Does anyone remember what this game is?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
almost
played
my
it.
Pop-Tart
Oh.
just because I think it's a tough genre, tough time.
Just to
tough
remind you,
announcement.
Pop-Tarts are
This
good
is a
things.
tough
Or,
genre
sorry, it's my
whenever it
toaster
comes
strudel. It's
out.
also my toaster strudel.
Harsh.
Just to remind you.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Because I think this might have a tough road ahead.
No way.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this
No
game.
way.
So-
Nothing but confidence.
Why Huber has nothing but confidence
Two
is
words.
the studio.
Ninja Theory.
Right.
Boom.
And then here's a bunch of other words.
I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking
Yeah.
about marketing. I'm talking about the commercial aspect of this
It
business.
will have
sure.
Game Pass
Fair.
though.
Fair. that helps.
But is that?
I mean, Crackdown 3 had Game Pass.
Yeah, but is
This
that going to
will
help
be way
sales?
better.
Is that going to help word of mouth?
It does help sales,
comparing
apparently. Yeah.
uttering Crackdown 3 in the same sentence as Bleeding Edge is inappropriate.
It is appropriate.
There's what comparison?
I'm pretty sure it's more like Sea of Thieves, if anything.
Sea of Thieves is a cool, like, I'm pirating, I'm adventuring.
There was
This is
a while where Sea of Thieves was not cool.
Yeah.
But because of Game Pass, it had a time.
Is Bleeding Edge going to be to 2020 what Apex Legends was to 2019?
No.
You know
I
what
don't
I
think
mean?
it's- yeah,
And
I don't
think
think
it
it's gonna
has
hit
to be
that.
in order to be considered successful. So it's tough. It's a
Yeah, if you don't remember what this game is, this is the multiplayer hero brawler. Would you say it's like
Yeah.
It's like
It's like melee
Overwatch,
combat, yeah.
Overwatch, but melee.
you can get like some short range distance attacks, but it's mostly like up in your face.
fun traversal for some characters.
Crazy characters.
But it's like, what if?
I think I had a woman that was like she
Motorcycle
was
woman.
a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, to me
Transforming
the
a little
game
bit.
looks like, what if everyone was Roadhog? What if the entire roster is
I get that.
Ian? What's the Roadhog and the other guy?
Junkrat.
Junkrat. What if the entire roster
get-
is Junkrat and Roadhog? Let's make that game.
I get that Kyle Bossman probably has 48 hilarious things to say about the way Bleeding Edge looks, which, to be fair,
It closes his laptop.
like it's fair. It's very fair. Like if you're not into the art style
Yeah.
and the vibe and the look of it, 100% I get it. It's just not for you. I don't know. Like Ninja Theory makes good video games. I think
it's just that type of game.
Yeah.
It's just an easy mark. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
It's just a genre.
Totally.
God, what's the Gearbox that's gone that they canceled it tonight? This is the last year, and then it's gone. Battleborn. It just smells like Battleborn. Like it just and through no fault of its own. It's nothing to do with quality. It's literally just packaged in a weird way.
Well, it's a game that relies on your resonance with these characters, but you're saying you don't have any resonance with any of those characters yet.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to, even if it's
There
just a
appears-
challenge.
there
It's
appears
an
to be-
uphill journey to make a game like this profitable. I think it's got to be a streaming star for it to really grab people's attention. For somebody to just pick it up and be like, "Whoa, I love this character." For like Maximilian or Ninja or somebody, just be like, "Hold on a second, I'm playing this for a month." Mm-hmm.
Which
There's no way Maximilian's played this
You know
game.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Ian, sorry, your take?
These characters are bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're nuts, and they
Wow.
should
There's
be.
like an old lady listening to an iPad. There's a corpse being held up by a robotic snake.
Yeah, so here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
I remember that guy.
There's
Those
a
sound-
bird lady.
Those sound genius. I think you need... This sounds so dumb. I think you also need your Soldier 76.
I
know what I
think his
mean?
name is El Bastardo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe Kyle, I think one of the problems with this game is it really hasn't been marketed yet.
yeah.
And
guess
and
that's
I
true.
am not sure that it's going to be.
Yeah.
Word of mouth comes out on Game
Yeah.
Pass. People try it out. They're like, "Yo, this actually is really fun." It's all going to come down to if it's fun or not to play. If this game comes out and it is mechanically sound and competitive,
That is important too.
The
Yeah,
Game
I did
Pass
feel like there's
really
a little
helps.
bit, like again, I'm just playing at E3 for like 1 or 2 rounds or something, but there's a little bit of that head game of, okay, who is going to stay and defend and who's going to go and like deal with those guys on that other point, because it's all, at least the mode I play was all about territory control.
and like, doesn't Smite still have an audience? Isn't that still a
Yes.
game?
Oh yeah.
Smite, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So like, I don't know. I get that.
Smite's a bunch of sexy gods.
I'm just saying, like, every game doesn't need to be Fortnite Apex levels to survive.
Okay,
And, like,
yeah.
going into 2020, I think smaller games that have a dedicated following can thrive
Okay.
and
Also,
exist.
like,
Sure.
I'm better at melee than shooting, so I don't know. It could be cool.
Okay.
high hopes.
A melee support character is interesting. Man, this game seems weird.
Last one for March is we just don't have a date for it, but it's coming out. Half-Life Alyx. Mm-hmm. That's a VR game.
Yeah.
That's a quote unquote system seller right there.
I'm gonna have to get a babysitter for this one. I'm gonna be locked in.
Oh, you're
I
going
need
to
to go to
VR
Ben's
world.
house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleep over at Ben's when this comes out,
Because of his PC setup.
and he got all this stuff. I
He
think.
ordered
Yeah.
whatever the system, yeah.
Yeah.
What system? What are you talking about?
There's a new
Index.
Index.
Oh,
That's it. Yeah.
yes.
Index.
Okay. Ben ordered it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So he plays through it once, and you're like, text me when you've played through your first
Right.
playthrough.
Please, yeah. Beg like
Yeah.
Ben, please.
Yeah, I'll be
please.
right over. But yeah, you got to let him have that first
Yeah.
taste,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a weird time. I think even like editorial in the editorial world of video games, right? There's just going to need to be a lot of reviews for this game.
Yeah, and I get like I'm going into this with no noise. Mm-hmm. We're in this weird pocket universe where everything Half-Life Alyx is to me personally is a bonus. It's
Yeah.
all a gift. It's a bonus.
And I think it is that, yeah.
We're just getting a Half-Life game in 2020 that has the potential to push something in the industry forward, that being VR. So I'm taking it for what it is. I'm so excited. And that's it.
Yeah. I think that's responsible. It's not Half-Life 3, and
No,
I don't think
no.
it's been advertised that way. I don't think anybody has
clearly not.
expectations on it.
Right.
And so yeah, this whole fear of making a Half-Life game the last 10 years or whatever kind of seems unwarranted. It's like, hey, you could have just done this. And so it is kind of exciting in a way.
I will hold it to a higher standard though, because they're using the Half-Life name, because they're bringing
Sure.
it back. Like, to me, it either pushes the entire VR genre forward or it's a failure kind of thing for me personally. Like, it can still be fun, but I'm expecting, and I don't think that's too ridiculous, to expect VR to be pushed forward somehow from this game.
I'm looking forward to like scary stress in a shooter, which to me like that was some of the best moments from the Half-Life games, was that like I had just enough resources, like I had good weapons, but like it was I was kind of shoved against the wall in a lot of instances. Like I really felt like I was a revolutionary fighter that was just doing the best I could given the resources that I had. Where like Blood and Truth, Rainbow Sunshine, Arizona Sunshine is a fun zombie game that's in VR. A lot of those, it's just like, hey, I got Uzis. You know, like there hasn't
Stand
been.
still and do
There's,
that.
there's a spy game that Brad really liked, that I tried out briefly and that was
Blood
fun.
and
But
Truth?
like, no, there's And there's another spy game that I played that came out on Oculus. And all these are interesting, but I'm not like scared. I'm not like dropping down in Half-Life 2 and I know there's head crabs down there and I'm like, God, I really don't want to drop down. I know I have to open that gate and just like, oh God, get away, head crabs. So I'm like, there's one specific part where this guy like pops in through a door and she like shoots him through the wall, and it's gonna be neat to have this like I don't know, just this kind of like lethal weapon, like grab the gun, shoot him. Like I hope there's gonna be a physicality that I remember from the first time I played Half-Life 2, and I was like, whoa, this changes things. Like I don't feel kind of like the gimmicky aspect of the shooter. I really feel like I'm a person in this room with these weapons, and like, wow, I made it out of there because I shot well. Oof, that was scary. I'm hoping it does that for VR.
Totally.
Fingers crossed.
You both have high expectations.
I mean, it's Valve and it's Half-Life.
Right.
Like, it's not
well, number one, what does
It's not
it's
my-
Valve mean anymore?
exactly.
Artifact
We're gonna
is
find out.
Valve.
We're
You
gonna
can
find
buy
out though,
hats.
right? That's why,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess expectations are hopes. Like, those are my hopes, I guess.
Yeah.
Am I expecting it to push VR forward?
You
Like,
are. You told me you
50-50.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50-50 though.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it does.
I hope it's a good game. I don't want to. I don't. It's just like, man. I just like just be yourself. Just be a good little game for yourself.
Totally.
To me, it's so hard to say like, man. I hope it just changed. Like that's a harder expectation than anything.
Because I'm not looking forward to telling other people that. Like, even Astrobot was like a bummer after a while. We're just like, please play it. And people are like, I'm not going to. And it's like, God, you're missing.
Yeah. You know what? You just don't bother.
And it's
Yeah,
just like,
exactly
and it's just
that,
like, well,
yeah.
do you not like platforms? Oh no, I love platformers. And it's like, I'm telling you, man. You know, so like, I'm not. You know, even if it's amazing, like, I'll just keep it to myself. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I
You
get
know,
that.
Like, even with the job that I have, I'll just be like, do you like shooters? Like, I like it a lot. Half-Life 2 is my favorite game of all time. Like, you really,
Yeah.
you should play it. It's fascinating. It's very cool, and like, it's just fun to be back in that world. And
I mean, if they had
yeah, it's
named
gonna
it,
be, it's gonna be interesting.
if they had named it a completely different thing, if it was exactly the same, but nothing to do with Half-Life, I would not demand that it pushes the genre forward. They're putting the Half-Life name
Yeah.
on it.
Nor
They're
would you ever play it.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
fact that we're playing as Alex. This is Half-Life back in some form. They're bringing those expectations.
Risky.
Staring at the G-Man in VR is gonna be a trip. That's gonna be a trip.
Let's do a really quick game, actually. So we talked about all of March, and there's just heavy hitters every week. Where would you slot in Half-Life Alex? Which week of March do you even put that in?
Oh, right at the end. Get that as far away from Final Fantasy VII Remake as possible.
Yeah, so
But then right around the corner is Resident Evil. It's like April 3rd or something.
And
I think we're
Cyberpunk
okay.
is like 2 weeks after that, right?
oh,
Good
is
grief.
Cyberpunk early April?
I think it's
Yeah.
April 13th or something?
I think it's 420, right?
So middle?
Wasn't that the joke?
Right before
No,
Doom.
that's the month, but I think the
What's
date-
Doom?
Doom is the 20th.
Yeah, so like
Same
the
day as Animal Crossing.
14th.
14th is Neo 2. I like this. I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
14th. I like the 14th. Okay.
14th, you sample your Neo 2. Are you going to commit? You sample your Half-Life Alex. Are you going to commit?
Because once Doom is out, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's
Yeah.
gonna stop Doom to play Half-Life Alex.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk April
16th.
16th.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. We nailed it.
2020, everybody. Here we go.
It is time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
We had some like hot takes that are just like too long. We're like way over time, which happens anytime you do the Pop Tarts or Tortoise Strudels. This is a fun one, actually. This is an interesting question. We might have some interesting things here. Okay. Hello, allies. What's the next console generation's dirty little secrets? With all the promises of faster load times, haptic feedback, and graphics beyond what we can ever imagine, what are the aspects of the 9th console generation that might not be considered positive? Examples from the 8th generation transition would be akin to Sony and Nintendo charging for online play and the need to install all games to a hard drive in order to play them on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. One of my personal predictions is that PS Plus and Xbox Live Gold will stop giving away free games as PS Now and Game Pass become more prominent. Would love to know the panel's thoughts. Love and respect, Sam. What's going to be... It's easy to forget about having to start paying for online at the beginning of this generation, right?
Sure.
I would totally forget that as a thing that happened, but it totally did. And so, yeah, I think it's fair to assume we'll pay more for something in this new generation.
That's a really tough question. That's like a Kotaku article. That's like a really that's it. That's like making a viral video. It's like
Kotaku,
I don't know.
can you just do this?
Can you just figure this
we don't,
out for
Kotaku,
us?
I don't want. So
Streaming was the first thing that jumped to mind, but I don't know why that would surprise you. Like you probably know you're investing in a streaming project before you start it, but it's just like, what? This is streaming? What? Oh, I didn't. Confusion that way. Like maybe there's a PS Now exclusive game or something.
Well, yeah, I bet PlayStation Plus will cost more in the next generation. And I bet it's just like, well, you get all PlayStation Now games. Like, I don't want them. It's like, no, but it's more value now. Like, I bet that's coming, right?
Into some weird subscription, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you get PlayStation Now, you can play your games online, you get these discounts on the store, and it's $80 a year. And like, oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it, there could be something like that.
I don't know, because Xbox keeps their options open. It's like you can get Game Pass Ultimate, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, the way Microsoft's been crushing it with backwards compatibility, they don't scare me there, but PlayStation sure does. Like, even if you're PS4, PS5 compatible, really want to play those PS3 games in there, But I just don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's not like a make or break for PS5. Like, you can't play my PS3 games.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of... Because didn't Battlefield do something weird with the cross-gen? Like, if you get these cross-gen upcharges.
Wasn't it like 10
Like
$10
$5 to get the
didn't
PS5
Ubisoft
patch.
do that or
Yeah.
something? Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. I mean, that has to be crystal clear the day these consoles are really talked about is what you do with your PS4 or Xbox One games.
Yeah.
Will it just play them? Will it play the best versions of them? Is it one game that I buy?
I'm really curious what the boxes look like. I mean, if Xbox is talking about, we're just going to be Xbox now. Mm-hmm. Do you have an Xbox game and then you have to just know if it'll play on an Xbox One S?
Man, I would love if they stopped doing green. Enough green boxes.
Oh, no, they're going to keep doing that. The funny thing I think about them trying to differentiate themselves is when they put the disc on the other side. Mm-hmm. Like, why?
Yeah, and they're like, you're right, that was dumb. We were going, but yeah. Was that the beginning of Xbox One as the disc was on the other side? Yeah. That was very silly. Yeah, I wonder, I mean, it could be something like controller battery life, I remember at the beginning of Xbox One, like the controllers would be desynced sometimes. It would just be so annoying. Mm-hmm. It's like, I have to resync this? Yeah, I lost it. It's like...
And I still have an original Xbox controller that I can't plug
there be anything
headphones into. You need their own thing. It's like, dude, just let me use my iPad or my headphones.
whatever.
Yeah. iPhone, iPad,
the
whatever.
white ones. It's got the white cord.
That was the oldest I've ever sounded.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anything that'll be as weird or dumb as like the PlayStation 4 Lite on the controller.
I remember that. It was so bright initially, they had to patch in dimmer
brightness.
settings.
Yeah.
And didn't even dim it that much.
Barely.
Yeah.
And for
barely.
this thing that like you don't really even know it, like they're doing all these gimmicks on the light and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like a dark room where you want the room to be dark and then it's just like playing off of your TV.
Last of Us, your controller gets red when you're low on health, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then they had to make the new controller where you could see it through the touchpad, which that's another question. Will they throw the touchpad out?
They will not.
You don't think so?
How can they if they're backwards compatible with PS4?
Well, if they're still compatible with the PS4 controller.
So we've seen trademarks or patents. We've seen patents for the PlayStation 5 controller, and we've seen leaked dev kit photos. Both of them prominently feature that touchpad.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's here to stay.
And back buttons.
Yeah.
What?
I heard a new thing about PS5 controllers. Maybe
We'll have those
back
by default.
buttons.
You need to start calling them rear
Sorry.
buttons.
Yeah, rear.
Back button is a thing.
Oh.
For a
On
DualShock
Xbox
4?
controllers.
No, but I mean, like,
just the
back
circle,
button is
your
like
back
Oh,
button.
back.
yeah. You're right, Ian. Okay, yeah.
Previous.
Old
Buttons
generations.
on, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? So what?
But
what
wait,
do I
but
call
isn't that
them?
what
Rear
they're what are they
buttons.
called
Rear
on
buttons.
the PS4 thing? Aren't they called back buttons or something on there? What do they call that attachment?
Yeah, I think it was back. Oh, okay.
back bumpers or something? I don't
Yeah,
even know.
man. You know what? There was a whole post on it. We talked. That was our biggest news story of like podcast 3 weeks ago.
It is called the DualShock 4 back button attachment. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things.
Michael Huber, let him have it.
I mean,
right.
either
Let 'em
way.
have it.
It's
Either
going to
way.
confuse me every time you say it. though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird thing is, it's just hard for us to imagine right now. It's hard for us to imagine either of them blowing it as bad as just the Kinect and Xbox clip that and just like is that being the sell?
It's so funny though because everyone was like so done with Kinect, and now like Alexa and everything. And it's like Microsoft, where are you now? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah,
Like, and I think they have one, but just nobody cares.
Cortana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weird. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to have it. It's
And the whole TV studio thing that tanked. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, there was a huge initiative to make their own shows and stuff on their.
Quantum Break was kind of a
Quantum Break and
Casualty
Quantum
somewhat of
Break
that.
and Powers.
Yeah, so Microsoft, their studios, all I remember is the one Halo series, but that I never watched, where they would do like one new episode a week, and it's like part of the world. Use the Halo app to watch the series.
And the TV pass-through thing, so you'd always watch TV through your Xbox. Your Xbox always got to be on.
Yeah.
Well, you did that dumb thing too.
We might be naive here at the beginning of the year. I just don't think it's going to go wrong.
Bless you.
Yes.
I'm with you, dude. I
Yeah,
don't
sure.
foresee, other than price point,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they got like a lot of the dumb lessons out of the way, like trying to get rid of physical copies and all that stuff.
Let's play a game really quick.
Yeah, I guess I feel more confident like you, Kyle, because we've had intermittent consoles. We've had upgrades. We've had the Xbox One X or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got a rehearsal with the Pro, kind
Yeah, and the Pro. So it's just kind of like we've already taken those growing pains, like you were saying.
You know what else feels weird about it is that the consoles feel like, hey, even if you botch this one, another one's coming in a couple of years. It's almost like that. It's almost like
see that.
they're less permanent in a way, which is awful to think of that in a good way. Quick game. This comes from Ben Hansen. Hello, allies. I think we all agree it was nice to take a year off from Assassin's Creed, but that makes me wonder, what is your personal ideal release schedule for the following series? How many years until you'd be delighted to play another entry, and no sooner, right? Like I'm good with for this many years.
This
for
is fun.
Yeah,
This is the most fun ever.
Pikmin.
N/A. I haven't really played Pikmin.
4?
Jones,
I was saying 4.
I'm with you though.
4.
Yeah.
I feel 4.
Yeah, Pikmin take 4 years.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come around yet. We don't want to see you around right now.
Looking for.
The Elder Scrolls.
Oh, that one's
I
definitely
mean, it's
gone
like a
too
decade,
long.
but
Yeah.
it's like too much.
I want like one a generation.
I think
6.
5 years.
Yeah, I'd say 6.
Okay. Call of Duty.
Every year, baby.
Yeah,
Every year.
Every year, baby. Throw it.
I don't. Yeah,
Throw it in.
At this point,
play
I feel
every
like
year.
Call of
That
Duty
just
just needs to
is
become a
Call of
subscription.
Duty.
It is.
You know,
That's
like-
it's what makes it fun.
I
It's
don't
honestly
know.
what makes it fun if you embrace it.
I know.
Yep.
Wow.
Every year,
because
fresh
it is
start.
Activision, and it's like there's so much about Activision. They're like, we're just gonna do things the way we want. We're gonna have our executives make this much money, and we're gonna treat our employees like this. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's like it's kind of fun to see them like kind of stress out with that and kind of shuffle around. Obviously, I don't envy the developers that have to like
3 teams makes sense.
Yeah, but like you definitely have to see them like dance around a little bit. But I don't know. There's just it's a weird, fun challenge that they themselves dumped on themselves, and so it's kind of funny to see them squirm a little bit.
I'm so ready for a new Activision IP. I'm ready for them
Yeah.
to just, here's our new game. I don't know if that's happening.
Yeah.
I want to believe in this generation at the beginning, Activision's like, and here's Dupaloops. And it's just like, oh, Dupaloops, that's cool. You know, I want that. Grand Theft Auto. Oh, Grand Theft Auto. How many years until we're ready for a new Grand Theft Auto?
There should at least be one a generation. There wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
What's too soon, though? What's too soon for a new Grand Theft Auto?
5.
5 is too soon?
Well, 5 would be like now. It's been 5 years since 5.
Oh,
so-
I mean from today.
from today.
Yes.
Oh,
No, Jones, it's been like 7. Wasn't it 2013
Well, it was
with
2000.
Last of Us?
Yeah.
Last of Us GTA 5, 2013.
was it 13? Oh, so it's
7 years now.
Well, we're not at the end of
So
this year.
6.
So
It's been
more like
6.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
6. Okay,
Yeah.
because I remember the.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
crazy.
6 years is too long. It feels
Yeah,
like.
it should definitely be more like 4 or 5.
7. I'm good with 7.
You're willing to wait?
wait
No, from today. We're talking about
from
today.
No.
Yes.
1. This needs to come out in 2021 at the latest.
That's too soon. That's too soon.
I think he's
'Cause-
talking about between entries.
No, yeah. No, I'm
That's
talking
why
about from
you
today.
said-
I'm confused.
I'm talking about from today.
He says from today. I'm
What?
saying
Oh.
2021. We need to have GTA 6.
I'm telling you, that's a little too soon.
Okay.
Is it cross gen?
No.
I don't know. How
Not out the gate.
I get it now. So these are we need an entry from this date for
Yeah.
these games. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant.
I thought
in
you were talking about
general, in the
between each
history
game.
of.
I did that and he corrected me like 3 times.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I didn't correct you once. You said Pikmin 4 years. I'm like, yeah, Pikmin don't come back for 4 more years.
I was
Just so-
thinking you
'cause
meant
allegedly we're
between
getting-
each Pikmin.
That's what I thought too.
Right.
That's what I thought too.
I've
I don't
been
think any of my
saying that
answers
every-
change. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
It doesn't
Because I
change my
mean,
answers.
Pikmin is ready. Like just
That thing is not ready.
I mean, I don't think the game is ready, but I mean,
Yes.
people
franchise
would,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
People would play that. It's time.
I don't want to see Pikmin right now.
Why?
You don't think Pikmin would be like this year's Luigi's Mansion? Like, yeah.
No. We don't need you, Pikmin. It's time for the All-Stars to shine. You can appear in maybe a couple more years.
We're not going to see GTA for like 2 years.
Yeah, I think-
Probably.
which sucks.
I think
Probably.
Rockstar needs to wait a little deeper into the generation, Jones.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think 1 year's too soon.
I think the Red Dead remaster will be a nice little holdover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or like a little bully game.
Oh, way down. Oh,
yeah.
my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. We're ready for a little bully game,
Holy
but
cow.
yeah. Okay. So WarioWare.
That would be like with
Oh.
the bully banner, just waving it.
Yeah, because they just that was like one of those last ditch 3DS games, right?
Yeah, I played that. Yeah.
Yeah.
WarioWare should be a live.
That should have been on Switch.
It should be a live service game, and they should upgrade it with new games periodically. If I were to live in a dream world, WarioWare, dude, just constantly update it. Like, how fun are those mini games?
What's weird is I think it makes it pointless if you're updating it constantly. It makes it endless.
Yeah.
What if WarioWare was like Jackbox? What if it was like
Yeah,
every
see, yeah.
3 years it was a lot smaller? It was like $10
Yeah.
each, and it was just like,
Just-
a new version.
You know, I'd be more like that. I love the Jackbox
Well, we
release.
could say
Yeah.
like, Jackbox 5 wasn't as good as Jackbox 3, but we weren't like mad at Jackbox 5. We were just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's fun.
And there will be another Jackbox the next year.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Maybe like 2 years. Every 2 years, there's like a $10 WarioWare game.
They should do the exact same thing. Just use your phones. Like Sony did so many just like you just use your cell phone games.
WarioWare is really fast-paced, reaction-based, though.
Stop it.
And it's fun with the Switch.
That's what the game is kind of about.
Yeah, no,
It's
No,
a-
the Wii one was kind of
Controls,
like
yeah.
it would just be like, and now you need to hold the controller like this. Do you remember the Wii version?
No,
of it?
yeah.
I didn't actually end up playing
okay.
that one, but
I
yeah.
need you with the right Joy-Con hitting yourself in the face with it. Like,
Yeah.
I need-
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's actually,
WarioWare.
with all the stuff with the Joy-Cons and the
Meaning
weird stuff that we saw
Cowbox.
in 1-2 Switch, it's kind of weird that we haven't had a WarioWare.
I think Joy-Cons suck, and I honestly think some people at Nintendo realize that.
Sure.
I think they're just little dinky, stupid toys, and I hate them to death.
I'll take a Pilot Wings over a WarioWare.
Borderlands.
Borderlands? Oh, I mean, that just came out.
Yeah, like-
They're going to do another 6 DLCs or something.
3
yeah,
more
it's-
years at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Keep adding on, dude.
Yeah,
Maybe
this-
4 or 5.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if we need one this gen. I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Yep.
good.
Because there will be a next gen for exactly for Borderlands.
Yeah.
Pilot Wings, by the way, is ready today. Launch it today.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
That one's ready to pop. I agree with that. Super Smash Bros.
Oof.
How many more years from today?
I
until
don't
the
know,
next-
man. It's gonna be a while. It's the ultimate.
Yeah, you know what?
You
I'm
can't
ready to
follow up
wait.
ultimate too soon.
I'm ready to wait at least 5 years.
I'm going to say 20. I'm going to say 20.
A new console
way.
for
I
love
sure.
it. I love
Some new system that blew us away, just like the Switch did.
I'm going to say,
And then, it's the first thing they're gonna do.
I'd like,
Smash is back.
let Sakurai die.
These weird drum controllers.
I do want Ultimate to be the end for
Yes,
a long time.
let
yeah.
Sakurai die,
That'd be
and then
cool.
after he's dead, it's like 50, 80 years from now. Like, let him die, and then you can start making more Smash Bros. But don't until then.
Like,
Don't do that to him.
After Smash Bros. Ultimate, the next time we see Smash, it has to literally rise from the ashes.
You must literally rise from
Literally.
ashes.
At Nintendo headquarters.
Shenmue.
Nah.
Come on.
It's a joke?
No, it's not a joke. So you just played through Shenmue 3 after waiting for a new Shenmue game for this long.
Yeah.
How long would you like it to be until the next Shenmue game?
I mean, a lot of the groundwork's got to be in place now, right? Because you're just made 3. You can reuse a lot. 5 years. I would wait.
5 minimum, though.
I don't know, man. You gotta be like 3.
3.
Yeah.
You got to get this thing done
right.
before
I'm
Yu
with you.
Suzuki retires.
You're right. And
No
if-
one else is going to pick this up.
If it launches in 2022, Shenmue 4, and
Yeah.
but they announce it like this year or
Sure.
next year that it's coming in 2022, could really get behind that.
Yeah, I never think about actually like announcement to release, and there is some leeway there. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do with that.
But I'm expecting to wait forever. And we'd
Yeah.
be lucky to get Shenmue 4.
And then at the end here, he wrote, "I love all sorts of Pop-Tarts, hot or cold. I just love them. Bye." Okay. All right. We should move on to bets. Before we even start a bet, before we place a bet,
Oh no,
we have to
terrified
retire
of
the
this.
scrappy little pigs.
terrified of that. Well,
Scrappy little pigs
You know
are
how you
gone.
retire a scrappy little pig.
Oh gosh, Jones.
Come on.
That's a delicious pig. Let's be honest.
Animal Farm and just let it go to
So we need to add some randomness to this. Okay, so
Wolf Among Us, Jones.
I'm playing through Plague Tale, too.
Huber, you will think of a number, any number.
Okay.
Are you doing that right now? Mm-hmm. Okay,
I'm
Bloodworth.
tapping into Charles Xavier right now.
Bloodworth, is it even or
Communicating.
odd?
Oh, Huber's number.
Yeah.
It's odd.
All right, Huber, what was your number?
17.
Okay, so Jones, you get the animal, and I get the adjective.
Okay.
Okay.
How do we know that the number influenced that at all?
So I was thinking the person who is closest to it, so Bloodworth was closest to Jones, would get the best thing, which is the animal, whereas I get the adjective.
Oh, if Bloodworth was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, our adjective is sick.
Sick.
Jones?
We are the sick owls.
The sick owls.
I love that.
Okay.
What do they sound like?
Because that's like the two variants of sick, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, literally sick. Sick.
I gotta know what we almost were. What's your adjective?
We were almost. Oh wait, no, that's my bad. We were almost the burning.
Lions.
Oh, man.
You got
Incineroar.
what you deserve.
Dude, the Sick Owls is really...
Sick
The
owls
Burning
are
Lions
great.
is really cool.
Burning
But,
lions.
but now you get to play the underdogs. Like, the Sick,
Yeah, the
owls,
Sick Owls,
you're going to
yeah.
root for those Sick Owls.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
think that they're ill though, right? They're like
He's like got shades on and like a thermometer coming in.
and as much snot as Jennifer Hudson from
Okay, so we do have a bet this week. At this time, next week, how many responses will there be to the most recent tweet from WB Games Montreal, which is at WB Games Montreal, MTL on Twitter? And if you need any context of this, they've been teasing that game again.
Shouldn't have done
Bait.
that.
It's bait.
It's bait.
I've learned my lesson. I'm not saying anything about it until
Yeah.
it's revealed.
I don't believe you.
That's not even true.
You've already
I
lost.
can
Before this
aspire.
podcast, you're like, they're gonna tweet every day. They're gonna reveal it next week.
I can aspire to that.
And you can do fun stuff with social media. What they did was they did one thing on Facebook and one thing on Instagram and then one thing on Twitter.
I want no part of this
and then
marketing
if you
campaign.
combined all three things, you got the complete image of
I
this
feel bad.
police
I
bat.
feel bad because they just botched the whole thing so hard.
Yeah.
If it's Court of Owls, everyone's gonna be mad. If it's not, everyone's gonna be mad. Congratulations! I don't know
Yeah.
how you pulled that off, but that's what you did.
Honestly-
you made everyone angry at this game.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
Huber, you just promised, but I want everybody on this panel, Ian, to make a bet. Will we have seen the trailer by this time next week?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Huber. It's counting the days.
I think so.
Ian.
I really do. I think so. It's time.
I don't think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
Whoa.
I think so. And I think so.
Cool.
Actually, you know what? It's probably going to impact our bets here.
You know what?
Wait, will it be a real trailer or I could see like a teaser?
A teaser?
A
Yeah.
teaser
Well,
towards
a video would be more than they've done. Yeah.
a teaser toward a teaser saying that more will be revealed at the PSX event, the State of Play event in February. More to
Okay.
come in February.
All right.
Because then they're going to show it that it's
Within the next
gen.
7 days.
It's
Yeah.
a PS5 game.
Or
Count
they're
it.
gonna tease an ARG or something.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. We got this. Jonesy.
150.
There'll be 150 responses to their most recent tweet.
Yeah.
Bloodworth.
888.
Ooh. Michael Huber.
485.
I think we went the same way that Bloodworth. I did 700.
Nice.
Ian Hink.
I was thinking the same way along the same lines. 800.
Okay.
I'm thinking it'll just be that same tweet.
It's gonna be the same tweet
from today.
Yeah, it's good. Oh. All right, let me lock that in. Let me tell everybody about patreon.com/easyallies. That'd be the website you would go to if you're interested in supporting these Easy Allies you've been listening to for the last almost 2 hours.
These Easy Allies.
These Easy Allies before
Forget those
you.
others.
Yeah. There's a few others. There's many other
others,
Easy
yeah.
Allies who are equally as worth supporting, except for Don. And so,
What?
uh,
You gotta pick somebody. You know what I mean?
Don's
It's
a
like,
poem,
it's like a
yes.
slot machine, like ding, ding,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ding. Just Don comes up.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
done.
yeah. Check that out. We do many more things besides this podcast, even reviews, previews, live streams. You can get this podcast 2 days early. You can get it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays if you give $5 or more a month on our Patreon account. And you could submit to lovely segments like Love and Respect and even
Something bouncer.
Tough Bouncers.
Tough bouncers.
Tough Bouncers. I liked how we got to throw one in. We were a little confused. I'm like, okay, now how about Lanky Kong now? What are we going to do now? It's a fun segment. Okay, so what I didn't plan for the end of this podcast is we don't have a winner or loser to like get all the responsibilities and things.
Right.
Jones, I think it's just not you or me because we lost the last season of bets.
Fair.
Well, I mean, Liz did wipe everything away. I think, you know what?
Fresh start. New
Fresh
year.
start. Fresh start, new year.
That's in the past.
Okay, so, all right, I'm thinking of a number. It's 1 through 20. Ian, you can go first. What's that number?
9.
Jonesy.
11.
Blood.
13.
18.
The number was 20. Huber's got it. Huber, you and Ian, good. That is my favorite number. Great guess.
Nice.
Huber, you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world.
At Michael P. Huber.
You get to promote any Easy Eyes video you'd like to promote.
Check out the most recent episode of Prison of Love featuring my best good friend, Bradley Ellis.
And then right now, Jones just reminded me that we have to do shout outs. So we'll come right back to you, Michael Huber.
Affirmative.
Jones?
Shout out to L. Thanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and Mr. One Luigi.
Shout
Shout out.
Jones, you were pretty slick. You know what I mean? You could have been like, Bossman, it's time to do shout outs. And you were like, just flash the card. Appreciate that. Back to you, Michael Huber. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be awesome. So is Bleeding Edge.
Wait, I forgot about something. What was your Pop-Tart this week?
Doom Eternal.
Did you say so?
No,
I
not
said
at all.
that's my Pop-Tart.
You didn't
I swear I
shout
did.
it.
I didn't shout
I
it.
missed it.
Yeah, we all
Somehow.
missed it.
I didn't hear that.
I swear you
Check the
stealthed
tape.
it. I think you stealthed it out,
You
dude.
stealthed your.
I in fact, will be checking the
Toaststrudel,
tape,
too.
Michael.
Check it.
Yeah.
Check it. I said it.
Okay.
I think like there was excitement, so I didn't want to. I said that's my Pop-Tart. That's my Pop-Tart.
That's not what you do with it.
Michael Huber.
Yeah.
That's not what you do with the
Doom.
Pop-Tart.
Michael
Yeah.
Huber talking about Doom was a whisper.
Wait, was Doom the original Booyah, though? Is that when Booyah happened was for Doom? Like, maybe you just didn't want to start a Booyah moment again.
Tremors.
Yeah. Okay, so just in case you missed it as well at home. Yeah. I'm sorry. You get to do your sign off really soon. I forgot we love to do recaps. So Jones, your Pop-Tart and toaster strudel.
My toaster strudel was the Walking Dead game. My Pop-Tart was Animal Crossing.
Yep. Bloodworth.
My toaster strudel was Journey to the Savage Planet, and my Pop-Tart was Animal Crossing.
My toaster strudel was The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and my Pop-Tart was Doom Eternal.
Respect remembering saints and sinners.
Yeah.
My Pop-Tart was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Really went out there this month. Toaster strudel was Animal Crossing New Horizons. Ian Hink.
My toaster strudel was Journey to the Savage Planet, and my Pop-Tart was Act 5, I guess, / the release of Kentucky Road Zero.
Great. And Michael Huber, your trademark sign-off.
Not really a trademark sign off, just a trademark message. I'm so excited for 2020 with Easy Allies because it's a next generation console launch. This doesn't happen all the time. I am so hyped for this year. Ready to go, ready to share it with all of you and all of you. 2020, here we come.
Doom Eternal coming to
That's-
PC, PS4, Xbox One, and
Pop-Tart.